Take two, guys. Take two, guys. No, this time I actually know I'm live. I know I'm live this time, guys. No, I'm live. That was embarrassing. All right. Stand up, New York Giant fans. What's going on, everybody? Sorry about that. Anybody that may have donated, I didn't know I was live, so I'm sorry if I missed your super chat, and I'm sorry if I embarrassed myself. I didn't even watch it back. I was so embarrassed, I said I got to just block this. That was embarrassing. A little candid moment. But day one is over. We're on to day two. What's going on, Luan? What's going on, Jawad? What's going on, Logan? Yeah, I'm live. What's going on, Bradley? Lake Nona, Antoine, Christopher Taylor, Luan, sports expert. Thank you for being in the stream. What's going on, Moose? What's going on, Sean G? Rogue in the house. Gideon Vincere in the house. Christian Cologne. What's up? Day two hype is right. We're going to be live till, I don't know. What is it now? 12. It'll probably be live till about 3:15. Going to come back at 6:30. Day two starts at 7. So I hope to see a lot of you guys over there for that. And hopefully we get some of the guys that we're looking to get. The New York Giants end up with Andrew Thomas in the first round at number 4 overall. I thought all along we were going tackle. I wasn't sure which one it was going to be. I read a little bit into the smoke. I thought maybe, I wasn't sure which tackle was going to be. It was Wirfs, it was Wills, and then we heard late rumors about Thomas late. But the Giants did a great job of keeping us in the dark. And I'm not surprised that's who we ended up going with. He was the safest prospect. He was the number 1 consensus tackle before this whole process started. And I'm glad we ended up with a tackle at the end of the day to protect for Daniel Jones, to block for Saquon Barkley. And now we're starting to set the foundation for this football team. And now today, there's a lot of big names out there, guys. You've got the center. You've got the safety. You've got middle linebackers. You've got edge rushers. We're going to fill 2 needs here today, guys. And it's just a matter of what guys the Giants have on their radar. I've talked about Hennessy out of Temple. I've talked about Logan Wilson out of Wyoming. Those seem to be 2 guys that the Giants have definitely had on their radar. Gross Matos is a big-time name there out of Penn State that I think the Giants could definitely attack, especially being that Sean Spence used to coach him over there, the D-line coach for the New York Giants, Coach Chaos. You also got Bowen out of Wisconsin. Bielema used to coach at Wisconsin, so you got ties there. There's a lot of ties here. And I think the Giants are going to like to go with one of these guys. Denzel Mims, probably the best wide receiver on the board. T. Higgins, we've interviewed in the past. So if they're going wide receiver today, expect it to be in round 2. Do not think it'll be in round 3. I really don't. Unless somebody falls that I don't expect to fall. But I don't think we're going wide receiver. I think we're going to continue to fill the line, and we might get ourselves an edge rusher or maybe a free safety. Antoine Winfield's a guy you want to keep your eye on. Of course, Xavier McKinney was the best player available on the board last night at 15 on Mel Kiper's ranking. So those are a lot of the names, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of the others. People are going to say Epinesa. I don't think A.J. Epinesa is the best fit for the New York Giants defense, but maybe he is. Maybe they will elect to draft him. Thank you so much, Joseph Clark, for the $2 donation. I really appreciate that. He says, get our best left tackle in 30 years since Jumbo Elliott. Let's rock and roll, baby. Let's rock and roll, my man. Oh, the day, man. Thank you so much, man, for the $10 donation, man. I really appreciate that. He says, I saw an article saying if we didn't trade back in round 1, we would try hard to trade back in round 2. Anyone off the top of your head that could trade up with us, I'd love to get an extra 3rd rounder. Yeah, Damon, I think I did a video on that article. I think it was like 2 days ago. I could be wrong. Maybe you're referring to a newer article. The one team, the problem was they didn't have extra picks. But the one team that I saw that had 2 second-round picks was the Chicago Bears at 43 and 50. But I don't think they pick again until like round 5. There's somebody in the mid of the round. I don't remember if there's a team that has multiple thirds or multiple seconds, that would be the target, I would think. The Bears were the team. I'm not sure. I didn't do a lot of research after that. But if there's a team that wants to move up for one of these wide receivers, that's what I'd be looking at. Or McKinney, the safety. But there's definitely some prospects on the board that shouldn't be. And if there's a team in desperate, say the Jets. Jets need a wide receiver, right? They didn't take one in the first round. If the Jets, for example, have Denzel Mims way high on their radar, maybe they are willing to move up. That's just an example. But you want to look at that. The top players on the board and the needs that these teams below us have. And maybe they'd be willing to move up and get one of those players. Slap my broccoli Rob, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Andrew freaking Thomas, baby. Simmons fans Simmons fans can eat. I can't say that. I can't say that, but you can. And there's the there's the $2 donation by Slap my broccoli Rob. I mean, I'm happy. I'm happy we got the tackle. I'm not going to hide that. What's going on, Goat? Thanks for popping in the stream. What's going on, Joshua Evans? Jared Williams in the house. Derek Brown. We are so glad, Derek Brown, that you are not a New York Giant. Chris, did you hear Joe Judge said DJ? No, I did not. Jonathan Greenyard, yeah, he's a third-round prospect. I don't really view him as a second-round prospect. Simon says, no, you should tell him, Chris. What's going on, King Andy? What's going on, Lake Nona? What's popping, Crispy? NFL DNA. I mean, as far as the offensive line goes, Anthony DeSantis, thank you to everybody for being here. To me, this was a slam dunk from the start. It was always going to be offensive line. Unless it was Chase Young, it was always going to be offensive line. I never understood why it was even a debate, to be completely honest with you. Our offensive line, we don't have one. We don't have an offensive line of the future, and you've got a second-year quarterback in a new offense and Saquon Barkley going into his third year. What are you going to wait till the fifth year to get the offensive line working for Daniels? We can't do it. This was always the pick. Always the pick. Darth Vader, thank you for the $2 donation. I appreciate it. What do you think about Tua going to the Dolphins? I mean, I'm not surprised. Tua going to the Dolphins. I'm not surprised by it at all. He's been linked to them for a while. I personally think it's a bit of a reach, but at the end of the day, the Dolphins needed a quarterback. He's got huge upside, but I worry about the injury history. But if he's going to be healthy, Tua, you could argue, is the best quarterback in this draft class. So if he's healthy, it's a great pick. But I worry about the health concerns with Tua. But it'll be interesting for sure. And the Dolphins definitely set him up for success with all the spending this year in free agency. I think they look to surround him with talent to be able to support him. So we'll see how it works out. They also got a tackle there, which I thought was a reach. Austin Jackson there at 18. But they got themselves a tackle. So we'll see. I think they got a running back at the end, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. But yeah, I thought the Dolphins had a pretty solid draft. What's going on, yeah, man? Thanks for popping in the stream, my man. Do a mock draft simulator before. Too late. I am mock draft out. I am mock draft out. I have done so many mock drafts. I can tell you where I think we're looking. You know, I think we're open to trading down. I think we're looking at a center. I think we're looking at an edge. I think we're looking at a middle linebacker. I think we're looking at a wide receiver. We're looking at a free safety. I think it'll be those 5 positions. You'll see 2 picks today if they don't trade down. Jersey Joey, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Pats have 4 third-round picks. There you go. So there's a team you want to look at. There's a team. And maybe the Pats want to move up. They could use a wide receiver. Pats could use a wide receiver. That could make sense. Obviously, you got connections there. Belichick, Judge. Get him on the phone. Talk to your old buddy. Could make a lot of sense. There you go. Makes a lot of sense. They could use Denzel Mims. They could use T. Higgins. Good call. Good call. Did you see Stephen A. saying the Giant... Yeah, guys, that's why you don't watch ESPN. Stephen A. Smith... you know what? Stephen A. Smith's entertaining. Whatever. Stephen A. Smith is the same guy that said Dwayne Haskins is a mobile quarterback. Are you really going to take his point of view when it comes to the pick by the New York Giants? I mean, really. I mean, anybody that says this was a bad pick before he steps on the field, they don't have a leg to stand on. You go back 2 months ago, he was thought to be the second best prospect in the draft. He plays the second or third most important position on a football team. You could say you preferred Simmons, but you can't bash the pick. Loopy, Lax, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Would Cushenberry be a reach at 36? Should they trade down? Who else do you think they should take at 36 if they don't trade? Yeah, I think Cushenberry is a slight reach, but at the end of the day, it's a need. Most experts have him around 55 to 60, but once you get to the second or third round, you're drafting as much, if not more, for need than for BPA. And the Giants need to fill that hole. So I think that could very well be the pick. I would not be upset at all if that's the pick. I've been on record of saying Hennessy seems to be very connected to the Giants. They may even favor Hennessy over Cushenberry. I wouldn't rule that out. I think Matos is a guy that they definitely could take there out of Penn State. I think you'd be looking at Bourne. We've been linked to him. And if they're going wide receiver, I think it's Denzel Mims. As far as the safety goes, there's a lot of good ones. You know, take your pick. No safety went in the first round. So if I had to guess right now, if you asked me to guess, I would guess it's either going to be Hennessy or Antoine Winfield. If I had to guess. But, you know, who knows? It could easily be Cushenberry. It could easily be Matos. It could easily be Bourne. It could be any one of those guys. But thanks for the love, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody for being here. Stephen Lilly with the $2 donation. He says, Stephen A. Smith is dribbling window liquor FM. Stephen A. Smith, I don't get it. I don't know how you can bash the pick. I honestly don't know. And some people are going to find a way to bash it no matter what because this guy said he was the 4th best tackle. You got to let the guy play. The guy didn't surrender a hit his entire year at Georgia. You're playing in the SEC. Oh, saw my Bronco Rob. Thank you so much for love, man. Young versus Thomas. Peppers versus Landon. DJ versus Haskins. Slayton versus Scary Terry. Dexter versus Montez Sweat. Gettleman versus Landon. Interesting. Maybe we have a rivalry with Washington again. It's a great call. Did you mention Flowers? I think you probably did. Oh, you said you didn't even mention Flowers. Oh no, Flowers is no longer there. What am I talking about? Yeah, we got ourselves cooking with the Washington Redskins, no doubt about it, man. And I cannot wait for next year. Xavier McKinney's still available. Xavier McKinney is the BPA. I agree with that, but he may not be the best fit for what the New York Giants are looking for if they're trying to bring in a free safety, not known as the best coverage guy. So we'll have to wait and see. I would not be upset at all if they take McKinney. McKinney was supposed to be a mid-first round pick, so they take McKinney, but I wouldn't be shocked if they don't. Hot Nichols, thank you so much for the love, man. I appreciate it. What is going on, Joe Lutz? And he says, Stephen A., the new Jerry Springer, really like to move back and take the best center available. Top 4 picks in the second round hold a lot of value. I would love to trade back. Love to trade back. And the players that I think people would most likely trade up for, as I said earlier, Denzel Mims. I would have loved if Jordan Love fell to the second round because you might have had a team willing to move up to get him, a quarterback, obviously. But I think Denzel Mims is definitely a player teams could trade up for. Maybe one of these edge rushers they really like Gross Matos. I don't think any of the centers. A safety, McKinney, could be a guy that somebody trades up for. So there's a couple of players that teams could definitely say, all right, he's worth it. I'm going to move up and get him. We'll have to wait and see. I would love to move down if we could. And David Cohen, thank you so much for the $2 donation. Should the Giants try? Yes, 100% the Giants should try to get more picks. I thought that before the draft started, whether it was the first round, whether it was the second round, if they can, I think they should try to get more picks. And that's another thing I want to talk about real quick. One thing a lot of people said after the draft in my stream and some in my comments, the Giants should have traded down. They couldn't trade down. The Lions wanted to trade down. We heard reports about the Lions for the last 3 days trying to trade down. They were linked with the Jaguars. They were linked with the Dolphins. The price wasn't there. So if the Lions couldn't trade down, what makes you think the Giants could have? If the Giants could have traded down, they would have. They've been talking about wanting to trade down for over a month. The Giants couldn't trade down. There wasn't a partner there where they were picking. So they went with the best player that they thought was on the board. They filled the most important need, Andrew Thomas. And Stephen Lilly with the $5 donation. Thank you very much. Stephen A. Smith bashes our pick because he can't reach his wiener. The best, the stumpy window licking down. You might be right there, Mr. Lilly from across the pond. And a $5 donation from Cruzon. Stephen A. is my dad's first cousin, LOL. The hate he gets from Giants fans, I would bash him as well, but family comes first. I didn't know that, Cruzon. I'm not trying to bash your second cousin. I guess that would make him. I'm not trying to do that. You're a great subscriber of mine. But I got to go after him for those comments, man. I actually like Stephen. I think he's entertaining. I just think when it comes to football, sometimes he doesn't know what he's talking about. Simon, thank you for the $2 donation. Bourne, Gross Matos, or Okwara, if all there at 36. I really like Okwara. He's got upside, but to me, it's either Bourne or Gross Matos. Okay, so here's the question here with Bourne and Gross Matos. I think Bourne is a better fit for our scheme, but I think you could definitely argue Gross Matos is the better player, or definitely has the higher upside. Gross Matos also has stronger ties, being that our D-line coach coached him. So that'll be the question for the New York Giants. I don't think Okwara's on their radar. He could be. I don't think so, though. So I think it's between Bourne or Gross Matos if I had to pick, Simon. Jason Young with the $5 donation. It's amazing how many Twitter GMs know more than what's going on behind the scenes. There was no trade down and no Simmons was not needed more than LT. Jason, Simmons was never coming here. He was never coming here. We didn't even interview Isaiah Simmons. We didn't even interview him. Giants, the only reason that Simmons built, there was any clout to Simmons. I mean, people would have loved Simmons regardless. But the reason that it really gained traction was because of Joe Judge's press conference. When Joe Judge talked about versatility, people got excited. They said, first, and myself included, he was the first player I thought of. But at the end of the day, they were always going tackle. Thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. And thank you so much for the $5 donation, GDO Victory. Tana, I wanted that lethal linebacker core from the 80s. No Simmons. Well, but the Giants got a 320-pound walking, talking American tank. Saquon runs for 2,000 plus. From your lips to God's ears. From your lips to God's. I think Barkley's gonna have a huge year for the New York Giants. I think Barkley is going to have a mega year for the New York Giants, and I said that before the pick. You go back and look. I said if the Giants ever make the playoffs this year, Saquon Barkley is going to win the MVP because he's going to get him there. Because I knew the Giants were going to build the offensive line, and I think they're going to continue to do it in this draft. I think Saquon is going to have a monster year, and he's going to come back extra motivated. Thank you so much for the $5 donation, Nate Paul, man. I appreciate that. Gross Matos is a beast, seriously, and we need to find a pass rusher. If we could find a way to trade down for Yannick and draft Matos, I'd be super good. That's another thing. Keep your eye out for that. That still could happen today. You know, Yannick Ngakwe's value, that was all a hoax. They were saying that they get the 19th pick from Oakland. That was never happening. Keep your eye out for that. That could happen. I don't know if it'll be the Giants. Could be somebody else, but definitely could happen. And I like Gross Matos. I love Gross Matos' story. Great kid, tough kid, overcame a lot. Big fan of Gross Matos. Darnell, man, my man Darnell with the $5 donation. Your reaction was a lot calmer than last year's, Chris. You and Ben. Darnell, man. Darnell was what I expected. So I was happy. I was excited. It was what I wanted. It's what I thought was going to happen. Last year, like I said, I was just as in love, probably even more in love, with the thought of getting Josh Allen last year as I was with getting a tackle this year. And when Josh Allen was there, I said to myself, we could get a quarterback at 17. We could wait another year because I knew this class was going to be a strong class going in. You know, Tua before the injuries, everything else. Herbert, so I said I would have rather addressed the pass rusher last year. Daniel Jones worked out. So far he's worked out. I like Daniel Jones, but I was shocked on draft night. I'll be the first to tell you that. Oh, man, thank you so much, man. Block Blaze, man. Thank you so much for the $20 donation. He says, I just think it will be hard for us to trade down to somewhere we want and get who we want. If we trade down, I think it will be mid to late second, so we can also get a mid-third. I agree. And thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it. I completely agree. That's what I think we need to do. If we're going to trade down, we better be getting a third on top of it. And I don't want to go too deep. Like you said, mid-second, 45 to 50 range. If they could get in that spot, and then you could draft, the center that you really like, Hennessy or Logan Wilson if you wanted to take him there, or Cushenberry if he was there, that would be a perfect spot for the New York Giants, and then you get that pick back that you lost for Leonard Williams. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that, but if they could, that would be perfect. That'd be perfect. I would love it. Gary M., man, thank you so much, man, for the love, man. I really appreciate that. $10 donation. He just says, here's $10. $9.99. Thank you so much, Gary. I really appreciate it. Who else we got in here? Stephen Lilly from across the pond. The Entertainer Talking Sports, how many draft picks have failed from that get him as a pick, in your opinion? I don't understand the hate on him. Stephen Lilly, the hate on him is simple. One, he's brash. The guy says what he wants to say. He doesn't care what people think of him. Two, sometimes he makes boneheaded decisions. Leonard Williams, I'll be the first to say, was a bad decision. I never get on him for the Nate Solder because we needed a left tackle. There wasn't, he needed to address that immediately. Eli Manning needed a tackle. He was going to die. And Nate Solder was the best tackle that was available. So I never got on him for that. The Alec Ogletree was a bad trade. There are definitely reasons to point out, but there's a lot of good reasons too. But the people that hate get him and never look at that. And you're right. His drafting has been on point. You're never going to hit on every pick, but his drafting's been good. And to me, I'm thrilled with this pick. Thrilled with the pick. Floyd Samuels, thank you so much for the $5 donation. We have 60-plus picks between our second and third round pick. Should we trade back, if possible, to get a pick? Yeah, 100. Floyd, that's what, if we can. Like I always say, like I said at the first round, the trade has to be there. But if the trade's there, we got to rock and roll, baby. We got to rock and roll. Absolutely. And hopefully the trade is there. Hopefully somebody wants to trade up for McKinney or Mims or some of the names I've said, and you trade back, and then you fill three needs between picks, say, 45 and 99. You get your linebacker, you get your center, and you get your edge rusher or your free safety or whatever it may be, or a wide receiver. That opens up the possibility to get Chase Claypool, to get, one of these guys that you don't think are going to drop to 99 if you want at the wide receiver position. So it would be great to get an extra pick today. I hope they can do it. I don't know if they're going to be able to. David Cole, man, thank you so much for the love, man. $2 donation says, do you trade Evan Engram to get the second or third pick? I'm assuming you mean second round or third round pick. I probably second round pick. I trade him. I know Evan Engram fans don't want to hear that. Second round pick. I trade him. I don't even think twice about it. The guy's got an injury history. He's in a walking boot. And he's on the last year of his rookie contract. Yes, I trade him for a second round pick. Third round pick is the debate. Second round pick. I trade him. I don't think you would get more than a third though. I don't think you would get a second. But thanks for the love. Malik with the $5 donation. Hey, Chris, what's up today? We get to see Chase Claypool to get drafted to the Giants and also get to get that pass rusher from Penn State. Malik, this is your round, man. This is Malik's round. I'm glad you tuned in to the stream, buddy. You've been clamoring for Chase Claypool. If they're going to take him, it's going to be around 3. Or they're going to trade down and be able to get him around that 70 pick mark. We'll see. I think Claypool's going to go earlier. I don't want to break your heart, Malik. I don't want to break your heart. But I don't think we're going to get Claypool. Matos is very much in play. We could end up with Matos. Thanks for the love. Willie Gay, saw somebody say that in the stream. That's another guy you want to keep your eye on. Troy Dye, another guy you want to keep your eye on at the linebacker position. I like Troy Dye a lot. Very good coverage linebacker. Some underrated prospects that people didn't really look at because everybody was fixated on Simmons. There are good linebacker prospects in this draft. Sean, thank you for the $5 donation. I think safety is a real need. If McKinney, Winfield, or Delpit is at 36, who do you want? Okay, of those 3, for the Giants specifically, I'm not going to be upset with any one of them. I think they're all good players. Winfield, to me, is the best fit. McKinney's probably the best player. Winfield's the best fit. So, if I had to pick one, I pick Winfield. I had Winfield going to the Giants at number 36 in my 7-round mock draft. I don't know if they're going to stay at 36. I don't know if they're going to go safety. They could go edge. They could go Matos. Or they could go the center. So, we'll see. Biggest reach of the night. Thank you so much, Saheed. I'm going to tell you what. The Raiders, overall, 12 and 19, to me, were both reaches. They took the third best wide receiver at first, before Judy and Lamb, and then they took like the 5th or 6th best corner, like third, I think. So, I think the Raiders reached. And the Raiders usually reach. They reached last year, too. They took Farrell at 4, so they reached again, in my opinion. But maybe it'll work out, but I'll go with the Raiders. But thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. Jason Young with the $2 donation. Williams was bad, but the Pats also sent a second for Sanu. Good point. They did give up a second for Sanu, and that was a bad trade. They were desperate for a wide receiver, but that was a bad trade, Jason Young. Absolutely. Stephen Lilly, the guy is brash. Show me someone in New York who isn't. That's what we love about him. That's what I love about him. One of the things I love about Gettleman, he's not scared to show his true colors. He's going to be himself. He's not going to let the media influence him. He's not going to let the fans influence him. You're not always going to agree with the pick, but one thing you got to give the Giants credit for, one thing you got to give Gettleman credit for. He should not be influenced by the fans. You should want your ownership and your general manager to not be influenced by the fans. He's going to do what he thinks is the right thing to do, and sometimes he's going to be right, and sometimes he's going to be wrong. Last night, he was right. He was right. He had the balls to make the pick that 80% of the fan base didn't want him to make, and I said it in my video, and I'll say it again. I don't care if you hate Gettleman. I don't care if you love or hate Gettleman. What Gettleman did last night, to me, I loved what he did. He knows if he don't produce this year, he's getting fired. He took a tackle. Tackle, that's like a 10, 15-year investment. That's probably not going to have an immediate impact on this team. But he did the right thing, even though he might get fired because of it. He did the right thing to support his quarterback. I think he deserves a lot of credit for that. Let's see what we got here. Jason Young with the $2 donation. Bashing the Giants has become a media pastime. I know. Bashing New York sports has become a media pastime. Absolutely. Crispy Cracker with the $2 donation. Do you think we could get Epinesa or another tackle? Great question, Chris. Epinesa, to me, really good prospect. This guy was supposed to be a top 10 to 15 pick going into the draft. You go back. The thing with him, I don't know how well he fits our scheme. He ran a 5.04, 5.06, whatever it is. He's a 4.3 defensive end. I can't see him playing the outside linebacker. That's why I don't think the Giants would take him. But maybe. He's a very good football player. In terms of another tackle, the only tackle I could see them taking in the second round would be Josh Jones. And he was supposed to be a mid to late first round pick. and he's got upside. That's what I've read about him. A lot of people think he has the potential, if coached properly, to be one of those elite tackle prospects. And maybe the Giants will elect to do it. I don't think so, though. I think they have a lot of holes to fill. As much as I would like to shore up both tackle spots for the next 10 years, I think you got to focus on the center. I think you got to focus on the edge, the linebacker, the safety. We have a lot of other holes. I wouldn't cry if they did it, though. That's for sure. But thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. And let's see. Oh, thank you guys so much. Cruise on with the $5 donation. Drafting a running back second overall with no line and a 37-year-old quarterback prevented us from building this team quicker. Lamar Jackson and 3 second-round picks equals Super Bowl. Yeah, Cruz, I'm not going to say everything he's done was right. I'm not going to say everything he's done was right. The Eli thing, we'll never know. And I love Eli, and even in my heart, I knew it wasn't the right decision to stick with Eli when they did. I backed up Eli because I don't think it was his fault. It's not Eli's fault what happened, but in my, I think Mara, and this is just opinion, I don't get on him for that. I think Mara forced Eli on the New York Giants, and he said he's going to be the quarterback. He didn't want them drafting a quarterback. I could be wrong. That's just my opinion. So I can't get on him for that. But it's fair to say that they shouldn't have taken a running back at 2, even though I love Barkley, my favorite player on the team. When the team wasn't set to be successful, that's a pick you make when you're a win-now team. It's fair to say that. Like, the Giants did things in reverse, and hopefully it works out. But they should have had the offensive line ready before they got the running back. Kind of like what the Cowboys did. They had the offensive line ready, then they got the running back. And hopefully this offensive line now with Thomas, you go and get another really good offensive lineman in round 2. Then you got that foundation for Barkley to be a ground and pound football team, and we get back to what we need to be. Malik with the $10 donation. I appreciate it. Chris, remember what I told you about there are more linebacker talent in the late round because already knew that Simmons was overhyped? If we trade, we might actually get Chase Claypool and a center. Okay, I agree. If we could trade, here's what I'm going to say, Malik. If we could trade out of 36, and we like a couple people suggested, trade down to 45, 47 in that area and pick up a pick in the 70 range. Let's just say you could get all 3 needs. You could get your linebacker, you could get your wide receiver, you could get your safety. You could get all 3 needs, or you get an edge. You're filling 3 needs there. You're getting probably a top 10 receiver in this draft if you take him in that 65, 70 range. You're getting you're going to fill a lot of needs if you could do that. So I could see them doing that. If they trade down, expect it to be Hennessy that they pick. David, thank you so much for the $2 donation. How much influence do you think George has? I think he has a lot. I really do, David. You look at this coaching staff. You look at the free agents we brought in. I think they were all strongly influenced by Joe Judge. Every coach on this staff either has a connection to Jason Garrett or Joe Judge. So the coaching staff was very influenced by Joe Judge. The free agents was the same exact story. Joe Judge, as much as people thought his pick is Simmons because of versatility, go back and watch Joe Judge's press conferences. This guy is old school. He's talking about smash mouth football. He wants to be more physical. He wants to beat these teams in the trenches. He has the same mindset in terms of that Dave Gettleman does. I think that's why they're a good match. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. And Frank, thank you so much for the $5 donation. They are mocking you, shade of the Giants. I mean, a lot of people like him, the guy out of Michigan. I think I wouldn't be upset if they took him. I wouldn't take him at 36. I don't think they're going to take him. But at the end of the day, everything has been smoke, Frank, this entire offseason, so who knows? Nobody knows. The Giants did a great job. That's another thing. Joe Judge brought that Patriot way to the New York Giants. Bill Belichick doesn't lead on to anything that he's going to do. Giants didn't lead on to anything they're going to do. So maybe we all think that they're in on Hennessy, and they're in on Wilson, and they're in on all these guys they interviewed, and maybe they threw us through a loop. We're going to find out today, but it's possible. It's possible. Let's see what we got here. Oh, man, thank you so much, man. Plaque Blaze. Oh, my, thank you so much, man. $20 donation. How many $20 donation will it take for you to go to a Giants? I tell you what, man. When things get back to normal, and hopefully they do this year, we don't know right now. But I'm setting up. I want to go to 2 Giant games. That was my plan. Whether it was 1 away, 1 home. But I wanted to set up a meetup to go to at least 1, if not 2 Giant games this year. So hopefully things get back to normal, and if they don't this year, then the following year. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make that every year I'm doing that. Every year I'm doing that. I'm trying to build a strong Giant community. and I want to get to know you guys better. I want to get to go to Giant games with you guys, stuff like that. So every year I'm going to do that. So, yeah. So hopefully we play this year, and if they do, I'll see you at the Giant game, man. But thanks for the love. I appreciate it. And we got time with the $2 donation. Me and Malik thinking the same thing. Center and Claypool. You get Center and Claypool, man. I'll be happy. I'll be happy for sure. So, I think a lot of people will depend on which center we get. Some people probably prefer Cushenberry. Some people probably prefer Hennessy. But yeah, I mean, if we stamp at 36 and 99, and we got Claypool at 99 and Cushenberry at 36, I think a lot of Giants fans would be happy with that. Absolutely. And we got a channel over there. Looking forward to having him on. I'm just so busy with the draft right now. But I'm definitely going to have you on. I know I told you I'm going to have you on. I'm going to have you on in hopefully a couple of weeks for sure. I'm just so busy with the draft and recapping the draft and everything else. But I'll definitely have you on. Jason Young with the $5 donation. In 3 years, people will call the Giants smart for the moves we're making. Look at how Belichick was bashed earlier on in his career. We're in good hands. Jason, that's what I say all the time. You can't judge a general manager off the first 2 years. You just can't do it. You have to take into account what he inherited, and he's going to be gone. I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. This is my honest opinion. I think the Giants are going to be good, very good, in 2 or 3 years. But it's very possible Dave Gettleman's gone. But the things that Dave Gettleman did while he was here are going to be a huge part of this team's success when they get good. He cleared up the cap space. He got us our franchise quarterback. He got us our franchise left tackle. He got us Saquon Barkley. And he got us some nice pieces late in the draft on defense. And Darius Slayton. He's done some good things. As much as some people might want to hate him, he's done some good things. And hopefully he continues to do more good things today and tomorrow. Thanks for that, man. I appreciate it. David Cohen for the $2 donation. He says, do you maybe trade a 4 pick and next year to get a 3? It's not a crazy idea. That's another creative way to get another 3rd round pick. You trade 110 and you trade a future 4th or something or 5th, move up to maybe the mid-3rd round. That's another option. I prefer to trade down to get more assets rather than less, but that is another option to jump into that range. If the Giants feel there's a player there in the 70, 75 range that's worth taking, they could do that as well. Good call, David. I prefer to trade down, though. Michael Sachs with the $2 donation. I thought your thought on the Saints pick, you think reach? Like your thought on the Saints pick, you think reach. On the Saints pick, I like, listen, I don't follow the Saints as close as you do. I'm a Giant fan, but I love Ruiz. And one thing I respect about the Saints that nobody realizes, the New Orleans Saints, they invest more in the offensive line than anybody. Everybody thinks they're this team that's this aired-out football team. You guys now spent 3 first-round picks, I think, in your last 4 drafts on the offensive line, maybe 4 or 5 drafts. You guys do it right. The Saints are doing it right. They're setting up for success for the next quarterback. I thought it was a good pick. Malik with the $5 donation. I really do like the pass rusher from Penn State. He's very underrated. And what about the center from Washington or maybe from Temple? That's the thing, Malik. Those are the 3 centers I could see us looking at. You're talking about Nick Harris. You're talking about Cushenberry. And you're talking about Hennessy. And, and Gross Matos. I think all those, it's possible we end up with 2 of those players. It's possible you take Gross Matos at 2. You take Biadasz at 3. Yeah, that could happen. We'll see. We'll see today for sure. Thank you, Villa, man. I appreciate it. Xavier Anderson with the $5 donation. I really appreciate it. I think whatever position we don't cover in the draft, we will address in free agency. Also, we draft a safety. Do we move Love to slot? That's what I love. When I really thought about it, Xavier, and that's why I mocked the free safety to the Giants in my last 7-round mock. I would love to be able to trade down. I mean, I would love to be able to trade down and get the safety because we have so many other needs, like the center and everything else. But the safety does make a lot of sense because it really does free up a lot of options in that secondary. You can move Love around. You can move Peppers around. It gives you more versatility. And Love was drafted to be a slot corner. So I like the idea of Winfield. I do think he's a really good fit. But I'm not going to be upset if they go with the center for sure. The center to me is a huge pressing need. But yeah, I think they move Love to slot if they got a safety. Absolutely. And Saheed, thank you for the $2 donation. The Rager pick was a thing of beauty. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, he's supposedly a very good receiver, and he's fast. But I'm glad they went with a slot wide receiver. I didn't want them to have a burner on the outside. I'm glad they didn't get one of the elite wide receivers in this year's draft class. I'll say that. But, you know, by all accounts, he'll probably be a very good wide receiver, but I'm glad they got him, and they didn't get one of the elite wide receivers. I'm completely on board with that. Unfortunately, the Cowboys got one of them. V-Dub with the $2 donation. I appreciate that. He says safety, edge at 36, and Claypool at 99. If Claypool's there, yes. If Claypool's there, I can't get on the Giants for taking him at 99. I don't think he will be. Claypool had an unbelievable combine. He would fit this offense perfectly. He's tall. He's athletic. He can go up and get it. I don't think he's going to be there. Safety or edge at 36 is very much in play. I think more than likely you're looking, if they stay at 36, you're looking at a safety, an edge, or a center. I think that is the most logical. I don't think you're going with a wide receiver in the second, but they could take Mims, but I think it's a safety, an edge, or a center. I think those are the three most logical positions to take in that spot. J-Man with the $2 donation. Too much space between our second and third pick. Trade. Yeah, that would be ideal. That'd be ideal. You get back that Leonard Williams pick, man. That would be ideal. You get that back. Gettleman almost fixes that mistake that he made. You know, I would love to do that. And by the way, thank you to we got over 600 people in here. Thank you to everybody for being here. I appreciate all the love and all the support. Sorry for the messed up stream earlier. If you guys saw that, that was embarrassing. But thank you guys for being the best supporters on YouTube. I'm going to be here live later. I know Bad Dog's in the chat. I saw him. I'm going to tell you guys to subscribe to him throughout the night, so don't need to tell you now. But I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully you guys come on by for the live stream where we talk about the picks, 36, 99. We're going to be talking all night. We're going to be hoping some of these prospects fall to us at 99, hoping that maybe we could trade up and get some prospects. It's going to be a lot of fun. Cannot wait to cover all of it with you guys. Thank you guys for being the best supporters on YouTube. John Sill with the $5 donation. He says, I think personally we're going to have one or two more wins this than last year, and Judge will urge to keep Gettleman. John, you know what? I hope so. You know, I don't hide my feelings for Gettleman. I don't agree with everything the guy does. I try to be fair, but I try to defend him because it's kind of like Eli. It's kind of like a lot of people in this town. Nobody's ever going to be perfect. But I want to give the guy a chance because I agree with his philosophy. I agree with some of the things he's done. And I think he's done a lot more good things than bad. That's my honest opinion. So I hope so. I hope we give him at least one more year so he could see out this rebuild. Let him see out the rebuild. He's drafted very well the last 2 years, and he started this draft off right, in my opinion. So I hope so. So we got here. Daniel Saint, man, thank you so much for the $5 donation. He says, stand up. We nailed the first round, Chris. Congratulations to us all. Hopefully soon, when the world gets better, it should be the Tampa game. I would love to go to the Tampa game. Tampa game, Brown game. You get to see OBJ. Cowboys, Eagles. Any of those games would be great to go to. And I would love to do that. Like I said, going forward, man, you know, especially hopefully as this channel gets bigger, I'm going to try to go to multiple games every year with you guys, set up meets and everything else. I would love to do that. Thank you for the love. I appreciate that. Mark with the $2. My man Delano is in the chat. What's going on, Delano? Mark with the $2 donation. Hope they trade down and get you Gross Matos, Cushenberry, and a receiver at 99. Perfect. You do that perfectly. Perfect. I don't think you'd be able to trade down and get Gross Matos and Cushenberry. You'd have to get 2 seconds to do that. I don't think you're getting one. Gross Matos or Cushenberry, in my opinion, is not falling to the third. But regardless, if we trade down, we're filling needs. Mark, thank you for the love. I appreciate it. Oh, man, Plaque, man. Thank you so much for all your support on my channel, man. I appreciate it. Okay, one more. Please leave a like. Thank you for all your love and support on the channel, Plaque Blaze, man. And yeah, if you could leave a like, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't done so, please subscribe, ring the bell. And yeah, man, looking forward to meeting you at a Giant game one day. Thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. V-Dub with the $2 donation. Trade down from 36 or trade up from 99. Ooh. I would trade down. I would trade down because you're getting more assets. Even here's the question. It all depends on the Giants draft board. If like we talked about Jones, if the Giants view Jones, the tackle out of Houston, as a top 15 talent, they stay there and they pick him. And then I guess the better option is to trade down from 99. Depends on their draft board. It depends where they have these players ranked. But I would rather the Giants trade down than trade up. Zeke, thank you so much for the $5 donation. If we could grab Okwara and Gay Jr., this draft would be a slam dunk. I like both those players. You know, I did a video on Okwara. I like Okwara. I just don't think he's on the Giants' radar at 36. But I like Okwara. I think he's got a lot of upside out of Notre Dame. Had an injury. I don't think he got to partake in the combine. I think he did one drill, if I'm not mistaken. And a lot of people like Gay Jr. in the third round. I wouldn't be upset with that. And then you have to take a center in the fourth. I don't think they're going to go that route. I really think they're going to take a center with one of these two picks today. But I definitely think you're going to get at least one defensive player with these two picks. Cock Lobster. What a name, guys. Cock Lobster with the $2 donation. Cheers to Andrew Thomas, a.k.a. A.T. A.T. I love Andrew Thomas. Love him. Great pick. David Cohn with the $2 donation. I know we re-signed him, but maybe trade Shepard. I don't know what you're getting for Shepard. That's the thing. I don't know what you're getting for Sterling Shepard. You know, the guy's had multiple concussions. He's a concussion away from being out. I think you got to roll the dice with him and hope he stays healthy. I don't think you're going to get much for him. That's the problem there. And he's getting paid, like you said. Malik with the $5 donation. He says, Chris, me and you finally convinced Bad Dog to get a tackle. Well, it's not like Bad Dog makes the pick. And Bad Dog always liked the tackle. He just preferred Simmons over Simmons. Do you think we should get the best pass rusher now or later on in the draft? You know I love the Hogs. If they believe, you know, and I'm not the professional. I'm just the guy that talks about the picks after they're made and gives my thought on them. If Dave Gettleman, and I'm going to trust Dave Gettleman's evaluation on these prospects. This guy's drafted very well. If Dave Gettleman feels that Cushenberry or whoever he wants to draft there at the center position is a franchise center, I'm going to trust him, and I think that's the right pick. If he doesn't believe there's a franchise center here, you go with the edge rusher. You go with the safety. You address that defense. That would be my line of thinking. But thank you for the love, man. I appreciate it. Gary M with the $5 donation. If Gettleman gets fired, do you think it will affect head coach and other coaches with a new GM coming in? It's a great question. I've been a big proponent of stability. I do not want to turn into the New York Knicks. I do not want to turn into this team that's firing GMs every 2 or 3 years, head coaches every 2 years. That's not what good organizations do. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I want this to work out. I want the fans to give Gettleman a real chance. He inherited a friggin' mess. So, you got to give him this year. Let's see how the team plays. But if they fire Gettleman, I don't know how bad of an effect it will have. That's really hard for me to say. Because the plan could be to basically have Judge essentially be more involved with the GM decisions than anybody else. Maybe they just promote Abrams. I don't think Gettleman's going to be here much longer regardless, whether he's fired, whether he's not. The guy recovered from cancer. He's older. At most he's got 3 more years here, if I had to guess. But I want to let them see the rebuild through. I want him to be here for 1 more year of draft. That in an ideal world, that's what I want. I want him to be here at least 1 more draft. But thanks for the love, I appreciate it. Harrison with the $2 donation. DG is building a roster. It's bigger than fan love. Exactly. You can't do what the fans always want to do. If the fans made the pick every draft, guys, everybody would be a track star. Everybody would be an athlete because that's what fans want. Fans don't care about offensive linemen, defensive tackles. Most fans want to buy a jersey. Most fans want to root for a guy that's going to put up fantasy points for them on Sunday. That's not what the best teams do. You build in the trenches. That's why I've always been on board with Dave Gettleman. Nick the Wick with the $2 donation. Thanks for the streams. Very informational, entertaining. I appreciate that, Nick, man. Thank you so much. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. I really appreciate it. Grim CeeLo with the $5 donation. Big spot for potential trade. Broncos at 46 could still get possibly Hennessy or Bourne and pick up an extra third. That's a great spot. I mean, that's exactly where I'd want to be, Grim. I'd want to be right in the middle of the second round. If they could trade down and pick up an extra third, that's exactly what I want. That'd be perfect. Because you're still getting one of these guys. Hennessy will probably be there. Hennessy would probably be there. Wilson, if you wanted to draft him out of Wyoming. I won't cry if they draft him there. Bourne could very well fall there. So you're right. That is the spot they want to be. If they could get to the mid-second, I'd be very happy today if they could do that. Thanks for love. Chris, McKinney or Delpit? Those two, I would pick McKinney. Misleading story, man. Thanks so much for the $5 donation. Man, I'd absolutely love Bourne and Delpit at 36. Move up a little for Hennessy in the third. If they could do that, I'll be very happy as well. You get your center that grew up a New York Giants fan, that the New York Giants have said that they really like. He's moving up draft charts out of Temple, and you still fill a defensive need at 36. If you could do that, I'll be happy. Whether they have to trade up or stay at 99, I'll be happy. Frank with the $5 donation. He says, think Gettleman hates answering to people he shouldn't have to answer to. When people ask him thoughtful questions, he communicates well. Well, that's the thing, Frank. Let me get a sip of coffee. That's the thing, Frank. He doesn't handle himself so well with the media, and the media bashes on him because of it. If he was a media darling and he had this great rapport with the media, he wouldn't get bashed by them as much as he does. That's just fact. Gettleman doesn't care. Gettleman says, I'm going to be me, and I don't care what you have to say about me. And because the media bashes him, the fans pile on. The fans pile on. Sometimes it's justified, sometimes it's not. But thanks for the love, I appreciate it. And a $2 donation from King Keys. Winfield, Epinesa, Higgins at 36 or trade down. It depends on what I could get in the trade down. It depends on what the offer is. But if I get a mid-second and a third on top of it, I'm taking the trade down. But if I had to pick between those three players, I would take Winfield. I think it's the more important need of the three, and I think he fits our defense well. Jacob with the $5 donation. I want Winfield, Bourne, McKinney, or Denzel Mims, and Andrew Thomas is going to be Joe Thomas. And Barkley is going to win the MVP. Barkley is going to feast with this team. I'm telling you right now. Andrew Thomas is going to be a very good left tackle for this team for a decade. He's going to pave the way for Barkley, and he's going to block for Daniel Jones. Gettleman got the pick right. Thank you for the love. I appreciate it. $2 donation from J-Man J. He says, got to draft Giants fans, Hennessy and Pert. You could do that. Pert's a developmental tackle. They could view him as a guy that could take over for shoulder mid-season, late season, or next year. Could do that too. There were so many options here in the second round. There were so many options. Max says draft Jonah Jackson, trade Nate Solder for Ngakoue. I mean, Mac, I would love that. I would love that. But here's the thing. Why would the Jaguars want Nate Solder? Nate Solder makes $20 million. They're a team that's in rebuild mode. That doesn't fit for me. It doesn't fit for me. But I would love that. Let's see what we got here. $2 donation from DJ Smooth. Scared of CD in Dallas? Their favorite. CD Lamb in Dallas? Yeah, I'm not happy about that pick. I mean, to me, Dallas had other needs. They definitely could have addressed the center with Ruiz. They definitely could have gotten McKinney or a corner. But CD Lamb was too good to pass up. And, yeah, I mean, that's going to be tough. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, you're going to have DeAndre Baker paired up on him because you're also going to have Amari Cooper with Bradbury. So they're going to be a challenge. There's no doubt about it. And you still got the threat with Zeke in the running game. Now they did lose Travis Frederick. And I've always said the engine that stirs that offense is the offensive line. It's not the wide receivers. So we'll see how it all plays out. But it's going to be a challenge, no doubt about it. David Cohen with the $2 donation. If you want another third pick, how would you get it? Another third pick, you trade down out of the second. If you could do it. You trade down out of the second. You drop from 36 to 46, 36 to 48, and you get a third pick with it. You say, I'm going to drop down 12, 13 spots for you, but I want a third-round pick on top. Or, like another subscriber brought up, you trade up. You trade up from 110. You say, I'm going to give you my fourth-round pick and a future fifth, whatever it may be, and I'll get pick 85 or 80. That's how you go about doing it. Thanks for the love. I appreciate it. Argenis, great subscriber, man. I appreciate it, man. I read an article on Bleacher Report, and they're bashing Dave Gettleman before they write the article. Sad. I love Gettleman for the reason he don't give a fluff. An alpha male. By the way, I'm still in for us taking Thomas. I love Thomas. I love Thomas. And Gettleman made that pick knowing he's going to get bashed by a lot of people. He don't care. He knows it's the right pick for this football team, and it is. It's not going to sell jerseys, but it was the right pick. And we got time with the $2 donation. 6th round, too early for a running back. No. 6th round, I think that's where I start to think about taking a running back. I don't think it's too early. I would say the 5th round is probably too early based on our needs, but 6th or 7th round, I think that's where they could take a running back. Harrison with the $3 donation. Do you think we could grab Claypool in the 3rd? I don't think he's getting a 99. I think Claypool is going to go mid to late 2nd. I really don't think he gets the 99, and if he does, I know a lot of you guys are going to be pumped up today because a lot of my subscribers were big Claypool fans. And if he's there at 99, you guys are going to be happy. I don't think he's going to be there. Josh Latoya with the $2 donation. Matos at 36 reminds me of a young JPP. I like Matos. I did a video on Matos. When I looked into Matos, I was very impressed with him. I like his backstory. I like what he had to overcome in life. He's a tough kid. Seems like a really good kid. Great locker room guy. played with our defensive line coach. I would be all aboard the Montos train if they draft him. I'd be very happy with that pick. Thank you for the love, man. I appreciate it. And thank you to everybody for being here. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hakeem is in the house. New York Sports in the house. Peter Bibby. There's a lot of good receivers left, Peter. A lot. I mean, Denzel Mims, to me, I had him as the 4th best receiver. The guy to kill a combine. Doesn't have many holes to his game. He's kind of good at a lot of things. So, Denzel Mims, I'm shocked, is still on the board. So, we'll see. You know, there's definitely a couple of good players out there. McKinney, another one. Mark with the $2 donation. He says, what if we pass on Claypool at 99? It depends on who we take instead. Because who knows? Maybe there's another player there, that's worth taking. If they took a center there over Claypool, as much as I know you guys be upset. If they got Tyler Biadasz there, I couldn't cry about that. Center's a big need for this team. We'll see, man. We'll see. But Claypool would fit what we're looking for, no doubt about it. DJ Smooth with the $2 donation. DeAndre Swift, you want him? No, we don't need it. Too early to take a running back. We have Saquon Barkley. You don't take a running back until like round 6. If we're bringing a running back, he's going to get 7-8 touches a game. He's not going to... No, way too early to take a running back. Jacob Kaiser with the $5 donation. Who would you want in the order out of Mims, McKinney, Bowen, Winfield for the 2nd round pick? I hope we get Mims in the 2nd. I personally, this is just me, Jacob, I would take Winfield. I think Winfield's our best fit out of those 4 guys. I'd probably go... any one of those 4 guys, I'm happy. I think Bowen fits our defense very well. I think McKinney's probably the best player available, but he's not necessarily the best schematic fit. And Mims, I love as a wide receiver. I just think the wide receiver class is very deep, which is why I think you could wait until like round 4 or 5. There are a lot of good wide receivers in this draft, but I'm a big fan of Mims. I thought Mims was going to go to the Eagles last night. I was surprised they didn't take him at 21. I'm a big fan of Mims. I would not be upset if they... I don't even know if Mims is going to get there, though. You look, the Bengals could take a receiver to help out their quarterback. The Colts could definitely take a wide receiver. They don't have a premier wide receiver to help out Phillip Rivers, so we don't even know if he's going to be there. But we'll see. I won't be upset if they take Mims. Let's see. Trade Engram to New England for the 71st. 71st? If they could do that, 100. Yeah, an early 3rd for Engram. Yeah, I would do it. The guy's injury prone. I would do it. Absolutely. He's coming up on the last year of his rookie deal. $5 donation from our Genesis man. I read on Twitter from a valuable source that the Giants are interested in Tyler Biadasz. I'm not surprised. I wouldn't even be surprised if they took him at 36. They might take a guy that you guys don't like. You might feel it's a reach. But like I said, once you get into the 2nd and 3rd round, you're picking just as much for need as anything else. And Tyler Biadasz, up until a couple months ago, was rated as... Some people had him as the best center. So I wouldn't be surprised if they took him at 36. I wouldn't. Why no one talking about Laviska Shenault? Laviska Shenault, I like him too, out of Colorado. He could drop a little bit. He got hurt at the combine, but he's a good wide receiver as well. He's another well-rounded receiver. Not super speedy, but a good all-around wide receiver. If he's there at 99, maybe the Giants think about him. I don't think he'd be there either. I think he'll go late 2nd, early 3rd, in that range, but another guy to keep an eye on for sure. And J-Man with the $2 donation. He said, cornerback reaches caused all these players. I know. How many corners went in the 1st round? Had to be at least 6, I think. At least. There was a lot of corners that went in the 1st round. And I was surprised with some of them. We don't need receiver. Yeah, Mark, I agree with you. We could use a receiver. It's much like if you look at the offensive line this year, that was the argument for the tackle. So I'm going to be fair, Mark. I'm going to be fair to the people who say we need receiver. I'm going to be fair. I looked at the offensive tackle, and for this year, technically you don't, right? Because you brought in the swing tackle, you got Gates, you got Solder. I'm thinking about the future. I'm thinking about long-term. You look at the wide receivers, Golden Tate's not going to be here much longer. Sterling Shepard is 1 hit away from never playing again. So I could understand drafting a wide receiver. I just think it's too early to take one, especially in this draft, with how deep the position is. Lax with the $2 donation. I appreciate it. He says, Laviska Shenault had surgery not to... Yeah, that's why he dropped. That's why he dropped. Yeah, I knew there was something. So that's why he's dropped. Originally, he was a 1st-round pick. So we'll see. Harrison with the $5 donation, man. I appreciate it, man. He says, with the way Judge talks about versatility, does it seem like Winfield is the most likely out of all the other prospects in the 2nd round? If they're going safety, I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know if they're going edge. You can make arguments that it's the most likely for Gross Matos because he's got connections to the DN coach. Giants interviewed him. You could make connections for a lot of these guys. Bourne fits the defense very well, but if they're going safety, I agree. I think it'll be Winfield. I think he fits our defense the best. David with the $10 donation. He says you have to bolt that line and set Barkley up for a multiple MVP seasons. It's a no-brainer, and lets Jones do his thing protected. No discussion. It's a double win, and it helps the defense. Let's not forget that fact. If you could extend drive, the New York Giants, you know how many plays the New York Giants averaged last year? Everybody just looks at the total offense. You know how many plays the New York Giants averaged last year per drive? 5.7. 27th in the league. When you're not getting first downs, when you're not flipping the field position, you are killing your defense. You fix the O-line, you run 7 or 8 plays a drive on average, the defense looks a lot better. Suddenly, you're not getting 28 minutes in the time possession, you're getting 32. Suddenly, when you punt, they're not receiving the ball at the 40, they're receiving the ball at the 20. So, it goes hand in hand. A strong offensive line is going to help your defense. DJ Smith with the $2 donation. We need defense to shut down the Cowboys. We definitely need defense. Our defense isn't very good. We need both. We need the offensive line and the defense. Jacob Kaiser with the $2 donation. I'm scared CD versus Baker versus the Cowboys. You should be. You should be. That is a dynamic duo. There's no doubt about it. And luckily, the New York Giants have invested in the secondary. It's going to be hard to match up against those guys. I'm not going to lie to you, though. One thing I will say, Bradbury's done a great job against very good wide receivers in the past in the South. And Manny with the $2 donation. NFL Network loved the KC pick. Your thoughts? Yeah, I like the pick. Manny, I like the pick. It was a good pick. KC couldn't go wrong there. There was so many good players where they were picking. But yes, I like the pick. I did. Pass rush must be addressed, Doc Steele says. It does. But here's the problem, Doc. And I agree the pass rush needs to be addressed. Our pass rush sucks. Why do you think I was screaming my lungs off for Josh Allen last year? Here's the thing. After Chase Young in this draft, there's no great pass rushers. That's why they all dropped to the second round. Nobody's knocking down the door of these guys because they're not elite prospects. This is not a strong pass rusher draft. I would love to get a pass rusher. And hopefully if they take one of these guys, they work out. But there's a reason they dropped to the second round. Let's see what we got here. Drew Thomas, 5 sacks, 3 years. No more 2 pressures. Yeah. You're talking about Andrew Thomas. Drew Thomas. Yeah. The guy didn't give up a hit all year on his quarterback. Andrew Thomas is a very good offensive lineman. King Badger with the $5 donation. Hoping for an edge rusher at 36. I really like Epinesa. I think we could pair 99 with some of our day 3 picks and get into 70s and take our center. Epinesa is a very good player. Not going to be upset if they take him. The reason that the Giants might not take him is because I don't know how he fits the defense. You want to talk about a player who's not very versatile. It's kind of him. He's not going to be able to play the 3-4 outside linebacker, but I like him. He's a very good football player. I'm not going to be upset if they take him. Jesse Green with the $2 donation. Voodoo the Black Cat, rest in peace. Now Thomas the Bulldog on. Yes. Can't wait. I cannot wait. You're talking about the cat, obviously, from the game last year. I cannot wait to see Andrew Thomas leading the way for Saquon Barkley. Can't wait. Can't freaking wait. I love Tuscan. If they get Tuscan the 5th, I'll be thrilled. They get Tuscan the 5th, I'll be thrilled. That's the player I've had circled for months. If they get Tuscan in the 5th round, I'll be very happy. Let's see what we got here. Will Tyler Biadasz fall to 99? He might. There's no way of knowing that. He might go at 36. The second and third round, it's tough. It's really tough to figure out how it's going to go. You can't go by these mock draft sites. That's just their rankings, and then they plug their rankings into the site, and that's where they go. That doesn't mean that's how the teams rank them. So he could, but he definitely could go in the second as well. Crispy, thank you so much, man, for the $2 donation. I appreciate it. How would you feel if we pick Higgins at 36? You're not going to see me cry about it. It's not my preference. You're not going to see me cry about it, though. He fits our offense. He's tall. He is a perfect specimen for the Jason Garrett offense. So I would understand the pick. We interviewed him. We've shown interest. I could see it. Wouldn't be my first choice, but I'd be happy with the pick. But he would not be one of my 2 or 3 guys that I'd be looking at. Xavier with the $2 donation. I think the pass on edge and sign Jabal Sheard. They could do that. He still isn't signed, Jabal Sheard. He's got ties to Joe Judge. He played at New England. That's possible. He's old. He's not going to have a huge impact, but could be a good depth player, rotational player. That's for sure. Absolutely. Let's see what we got here. I told you the Cardinals will pick Isaiah Simmons if he's there. Good luck to Isaiah Simmons and the Cardinals. I'm not. After the fact, when I thought about it, I'm not surprised they took Isaiah Simmons. That's a team that goes for the flashy pick. We'll see how Kyler Murray does without an offensive line. That, to me, they had to take the offensive line. Their offensive line is worse than ours. I don't know. DJ Smooth with a $2 donation. Fix the O-line and get weapons. Let's go. Yeah, but you get your weapon in the 4th round. You don't need to take a wide receiver in the 2nd. But yeah, I would love to get another wide receiver. Love to. And how about our weapons just stay healthy? We have weapons. They don't stay healthy. Evan Ingram's a weapon. Saquon Barkley's a weapon. Sterling Shepard's a weapon. Got to stay healthy. Who are your top 5 wide receivers still available? Okay. I would say Mims. I would say Higgins. I'm sure I'm going to forget somebody. I'm not looking at a draft board right now. Mims, Higgins, Claypool's up there. Pittman is definitely up there for me. Pittman might be 1 for me. I love Pittman. Mims is probably 1. Mims is 1. I think Pittman's 2. I think Higgins is 3. I know I'm going to forget somebody. I'll say Claypool's in my top 5. And who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting somebody. I'm sure I'm forgetting somebody. Pocket H with the $2 donation. Chris, in 2020, does Andrew Thomas start at left tackle or right tackle? I would say Andrew Thomas starts at left tackle. And one thing I don't want to rule out, guys, think about this. Let's just say, is this possible? I want to run this thought process by you guys. Is this possible? Because if the Giants wait till, I think it's after June something, and they cut Solder, they don't lose as much money, whatever it is, or they could spread the dead cap. I don't remember. Is it possible that they could draft Josh Jones today and cut Solder? Is that possible? Then you got your right tackle, left tackle. Now the problem with that is you have no experience on the line if you do that. You have no experience on the line with your rookie quarterback. So I don't think they're going to do that. But is it possible? Let's see. Is everyone here an NFL scout? Mark? He says, yeah. That's what I was saying all day, Mark said. Yeah. Stephen A. Smith said we had the worst. You can't listen to Stephen A. Smith, Jake. You can't listen to big wide receiver from Wisconsin. I'm not sure. I love the receiver from Peoples-Jones from Michigan as a 4th round prospect. I'm a big fan of him out of Michigan. I had him mocked to us in the 4th round. That's a guy I got my eye on. Tyler Johnson out of Minnesota is another receiver I like. Obviously, Antonio Gandy-Golden from Liberty. There's so many good wide receivers, guys. Laviska Shenault. There's so many good wide receivers. What's going on, Damon? Damien, thanks for popping in the stream, man. Michael wants Delpit. He says, Delpit, Delpit, Delpit. I'm sure he's upset. I'm sure he's asked it 100 times, but got to make sure. I see him now. Everybody say hi to Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Bobo, everybody say hi. Hi, Bobby. Bobby Woodruff in the house. What's going on, Bobby? Lance Davis with the $2 donation. Ashton Davis is definitely a good potential coverage safety as well, Ryan. Lance Davis says McKinney or Matos, and how good would they be? McKinney or Matos? It's tough to say. The thing with McKinney, he's an in-the-box safety. That's what he is. I don't know if the Giants view that as a need. Matos could be very good. He's got high upside. But, again, I don't know how well he fits our scheme. So, we'll see. We'll see how the Giants feel. But I think Matos could be very good, with the proper development and coaching. And he's got his D-line coach here. So, I like Matos a lot. Matos was probably my 3rd favorite edge rusher in this class. So, I like Matos. Michael with the $2 donation. Giants stay with Love at free safety, draft center, and edge. I could see it. I could definitely see that as well. And I wouldn't be upset about it. I think center and edge are bigger needs. What's going on, Yvonne? Thanks for popping in the stream. What time you be? 6:30. 6:30 I'll be on tonight. I'm going to be on probably to 3:15 here. We're going to end it. Then I'll be live at 3:30 till the conclusion, 6:30 until the conclusion of the second round with Bad Dog. Then I'll have a video up on that after the fact. Just recapping our 2 picks of the day. And then I'll have another video up tomorrow going over the guys that we could be looking at in day 3. Then I'll probably do another one of the, well, no, it's early tomorrow. So I'll just do the live stream tomorrow from noon. I think it starts at noon, so probably 11:30 till whenever it ends. And then I'm sure I'll go live probably the day after to recap it. So going to have a lot of lives talking about the New York Giants and talking about this draft, guys. What's going on, Andrew Christopher? Hi to you, my man. 1 Andrew Thomas, 2 Matt Hennessy, or Cushenberry, 3 that's another guy. Should have mentioned him in my video. Good safety. Wallace. Could take him as well in the 3rd round. What do I think of Sam Beal? The thing I worry about with Sam Beal is the same thing I worry about with Evan Engram. The guy can't seem to stay healthy. That's what I worry about with Sam Beal. The guy can't stay healthy. But if they, maybe they give him an opportunity this year to play the slot, who knows? I hope, everybody had high hopes for Sam Beal, so hopefully it works out. I haven't seen him enough on the field. Meet with the $5 donation. He says, Yo, Tana, you think the lack of trades yesterday was a result of the teams being isolated because of social distancing? Very possible. Very, very, very possible. And all the GMs talked about that ahead of time. Dave Gettleman came out and said, if we're going to make a deal, I want to have a deal done before the draft starts. So, very possible. Now, there were some trades. It just wasn't early. I think there was 2, maybe 3 trades. I know the Saints moved up. No, the Chargers moved up, rather. There was like 2 or 3 trades. So, they did happen, but it didn't happen early in the draft. Could have very well had something to do with it. The thing that I think had more to do with it, though, than anything else, I honestly think that at the end of the day, the Dolphins and the Chargers and the teams behind them didn't feel that Herbert and Tua were worth trading up for. I think that was the main reason why there wasn't a trade. But thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. $10 donation from David. He says, we still have Coleman coming back and a second-year Slayton to get better. Conley was coming on strong before the injury as well. Safety help for Peppers to roam or a versatile linebacker to add to this rotation. I would love that. I would love that. I don't really view Coleman as a guy that I think is going to be in the wide receiver rotation. I do think he's going to help on special teams, and maybe he proves me wrong and he turns into that wide receiver people thought he could be. Slayton, I love. I'm a big Slayton guy. Conley showed us great things his first 3 or 4 games. I agree with the versatility aspect. I love Troy Dye, guys. Love Troy Dye. When I watch the film on Dye, when I watch the things that I read about Troy Dye, I think he's a guy that I don't even know if he's going to be a linebacker. He's like 220, 225. He's kind of like Simmons. Not as good, but that type of player that you can move around. Troy Dye's a very interesting name if the Giants could get him at 99. I do like Dye. He's versatile. Let's see what we got here. Matos will rush on 3rd. I'm sure he will, AJ Nix. How early would you reach for Tuska? Probably the 5th. I think probably the 5th. But if we want him, we have to take him in the 5th, if he's there. Yeah, love the Hogs, Lee. Love the Hogs. Love the Hogs. I'm glad we invested in it. Loving the live feed, watching from England. How about the edge from Penn State? I appreciate that high spirit fitness. Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Listen, man, I'm with you, man. I'd be happy with Matos. I'd be very happy with Matos. He seems to be the popular pick with a lot of people in the stream. Let's rock and roll, man. We could use an edge. He's got familiarity with Spence. If the Giants feel like he could be a difference maker, go out and get him, man. Go out and get him. David Cohen with the $5 donation. He says, can this draft where do the bulk of the rebuild, since this draft has a lot of depth in the positions we need help in? What do you mean? Can this draft, where do the bulk of our I think you meant to say, can this draft be the bulk of our rebuild? I think the rebuild's going to be spread out over the last 3 drafts. I still haven't given up on Lorenzo Carter. Obviously Saquon Barkley. Hernandez. I still think you get impact players from 2 years ago. I still think you're getting impact players from last year. A lot. Love. People forget about him. Conley was just mentioned. Slayton. Jones. Lawrence. Hopefully DeAndre Baker drinks his Red Bulls. I think we got impact players in the last 3 drafts. Well, hopefully after this one, but so far so good with Andrew Thomas. I think they're all going to be a huge part of the rebuild. I think the Giants have a very bright future. It just might take one more year. But thanks for the love, David. I appreciate it. Favorite center out of Hennessy, Beatish, and Cushenberry. Beatish, rather. Most people tell you Cushenberry. Cushenberry is the strongest of the three. I've read good and bad on him. I think the Giants' favorite, and that's the only opinion that matters. It's not my opinion. It's not your opinion. And I could be wrong. It could be smoke. I think the Giants' favorite is Hennessy. I don't know if they feel he's strong enough to take it 36, though. So we will see, and maybe Cushenberry will be their guy. We won't know until the draft kicks off today. Do we trade stand up, Gordon Gecko? Do we trade Engram tonight? I doubt it. I've been on record as saying I would absolutely trade Engram for the right price, but I don't think Evan Engram is going to command a higher than a mid to late third. I don't think the Giants are going to trade Engram. I don't. If they trade him, I think it'll be in season. I think Yannick is going to be a Giant. It's possible. You keep your hope up. It's possible. Let's drink the Hennessy, Mark. Mark, I'd be happy with Hennessy. Go and get. You know I love the Hogs, Mark. You know I love the Hogs. If they get the center and the tackle in this year's draft, you don't got to worry about it. Next year, fix it. Give me a Hog sandwich. Let's go. Not trade him. We need all the weapons we could get. I agree. I don't think they're trading him. At least not until midseason if they trade him. Lions might take Easton or Hurts. I'm with you. They could very well do that, especially with. I just want to make sure my phone's charged. Especially with Stafford getting up there in age and he's got a high contract. I'm scared Hennessy is going to be going to the Cow. He definitely could, and you also got to worry about the Panthers. He's got ties to their head coach there with Matt Rule. Delano says, "What round would you start looking for wide receivers if you addressed it in the draft?" I want to address it in the draft, Delano. I definitely want to address it in the draft. For me, depending on who's there at 99, but I don't think there's going to be a wide receiver there at 99 that I think is going to be worth drafting. So realistically speaking, for me, it's either the 4th or the 5th. I think there's a lot of good wide receivers that are still going to be there in both of those rounds. I could wait till the 5th, hope to get a guy like Hodgins, a guy I've talked about a lot, or Gandy Golden in the 4th or the 5th. That's my hot spot for the wide receiver, 4th or the 5th. I would prefer 5th because I still think there's going to be good wide receivers there. That would be my line of thinking. And Sir Rat, thank you so much for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. He says, stand up. I'm late, but I'm here. I'm checking in and loving the pick. Barkley's probably doing backflips. Kicker second round. No, not a kicker. Not a kicker. Not a kicker. Barkley and Daniel Jones are doing backflips. I'll tell you that right now. If you ask me right now, I think it's between the safety position, the center position, and the edge rusher. I can't tell you who it's going to be, but if I had to pick out an edge rusher, I would say Gross Matos because of his ties and because I think he is the best edge rusher available. The center, I'm actually leaning Hennessy. If they go center, I think they go with Hennessy. And the safety, all three of them are good. So I'm not 100% sure which one they would go with, but I think it's either going to be the safety, the edge rusher, or the safety position. Winfield would be the guy I'd lean with because I think he's the best schematic fit for the New York Giants. So I'm going to say one of those three. I'm going to say Hennessy, Matos, or Winfield. Michael with the $2 donation. Madden ratings better improve after the draft. Yeah, they better improve after the draft. Stand up, diehard Giants fan. Joe Reed. I like Joe Reed. I like Joe Reed a lot when I did some research on him. I like Joe Reed. Let's see, we got it. Dan Big Blue, man, thanks so much for the $2 donation. Is round 2 and 3 today? Yes, both will be tonight. So it's going to be an all-night affair. We're picking at the beginning. We're picking at the end. $36.99. That's if we don't make a trade. Who do you think the Giants? Yeah. All right, I'm going to make my prediction right now. I could be wrong. I'm going to say Winfield. I'm going to say the New York Giants select Antoine Winfield at 36. But I think Hennessy is very much in play. And I think Gross Matos is very much in play. But if I had to pick one, I'll say Winfield. I would probably rather the center, but I'll say they go Winfield. That's what I'll say. Liv Hunters with the $5 donation. What NFL player do you see traded today for picks? I mean, if there was going to be one, I would say Yannick. I think Yannick makes the most sense, right? The Jaguars are, between a rock and a hard place with Ngakoue. So if they could trade him, I think they'll look to do it. Yeah, I'll say him. We heard rumors about, I think it was D Ford on the 49ers. Maybe they incorporate him in a trade. Who knows? But I would say Yannick is the most logical if there's going to be a trade. And Big Bang with the $10 donation. He says, I'm still laughing at Packer fans for trading up for Jordan Love. Yeah, I honestly don't get that move. And I like Jordan Love. I actually like Jordan Love. I think Jordan Love could be a really good quarterback. And I get what they're doing in the sense that he's going to sit behind Rodgers for 2 years and learn and whatever else, just like Rodgers did with Favre. But Rodgers still has some football left in him. You have a team that went to the NFC Championship last year. Not only did you draft a quarterback, you gave up assets to not help improve Rodgers. If you're Aaron Rodgers, you were 4 quarters away from going to a Super Bowl. How could Aaron Rodgers be happy with this? You could have got me Denzel Mims. Instead, you got my backup? And you traded up to do it? I didn't understand it. Stephen Lilly with the $5 donation. He says, at the Data Talk Sports, do you think if Judge wanted Simmons that Gettleman would have said no? I don't think so. I honestly don't. No. I honestly think there was a collaborative effort. I think Judge has just as much say in these picks as anybody else. He might have more say. Judge is going to be here for the next 15 years. Gettleman isn't. Judge definitely had as much, if not more, say in the free agency. Why wouldn't I believe it was the same thing in the draft? I think it was a collaborative effort. Argenis with the $5 donation. Jay Glazer, who I respect, said that every GM in the league had Thomas ranked the number 1 and that the Dolphins wanted to trade up to 3 for Thomas. I'm not surprised, Argenis. And, here's the thing. People who don't want the offensive tackle or people that want to complain about the New York Giants pick are going to find something to fit their agenda. That's what they're going to do. I do it too. Everybody's going to do it. And in one instance, people say Jay Glazer's the man. He's always right. He was right about Beckham. He's a great insider. But when he says it in this instance, they won't look at that. They'll look at Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith said he's the 4th best tackle. This guy said he's the 4th best tackle. Well, Glazer, who you guys told me with another story is the best insider there is in the game, just said that the Miami Dolphins were thinking about trading up to take him at 3, and every team on the board had him ranked as the number 1 offensive tackle. So, I don't know what to tell you. I'm with you, man. I like him. PDA Sports with the $5 donation. Couldn't have asked for a better first-round pick. Center, safety, linebacker, wide receiver, and we got a perfect draft. PT, I'm going to have you on the channel this week. I've just been so busy with the draft. I'm going to have you on. We're going to recap the draft. He's got a Giants channel over there. I'm really looking forward to having him on. Great guy. He has always supported my channel. And going to have you on to recap the draft. Matter of fact, maybe what we'll do is we'll have you on a Giants roundtable. We'll do something. But I definitely want to have you on the channel, man. Thanks for the love, man. I appreciate it. $2 donation from Michael. He says, management hates Rodgers. Never drafted help for him. I agree with you. I honestly don't understand the thinking there with the Packers. And I like Jordan Love. I don't understand it. If I'm a Packer fan, I'm not upset if they take him at 30 and they don't give up more assets, whatever. But to trade up and still, I didn't get it. DJ Smooth with the $2 donation. He says, we need pass rushers to get after Wentz. That we do. We do, and we also need people to protect. Because they got pass rushers too, so we need both, no doubt about it. Michael Thomas to the Texans. That's not. Oh, maybe you mean the Giants, Michael Thomas. What's up? What's going on, George McCarry? Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Glad to see you here, man. You're talking about the Giants, Michael Thomas. You heard the Giants are interested in D Ford. My thoughts. I know he's getting paid a lot. Where did you hear that? Where did you hear that? I have not heard that. Oh, Brandon, man, thank you so much, man, for the $20 donation, man. I really appreciate that. He says, thanks for your consistent videos. Been watching you for 2 years. Wow, man, thank you so much, Brandon. Especially through hard times. Thank you, bro. I feel like we're going in the right direction. Finally, we have a top prospect on our line. Brandon, man, I said it during the stream last night. I'm 33. I don't even know my age. I'm 34. And I've been watching this New York, the bulk of my time watching this Giant team as an adult was Eli Manning. And I saw how important an offensive line was. I saw what it meant to Eli the first half and what it meant to him the second half. And when he didn't have an offensive line, he fell off a cliff. He went from being one of the best in the sport to one of the, at best a mediocre quarterback the second half of his career overnight. because our offensive line went to hell. And I don't want the same thing to happen to Daniel Jones. And I'm glad that we have a general manager that has the balls to make the right pick, because it was the right pick. So I'm with you, man. $5 donation from John Smith. Thomas said he models his game after Tyron Smith. That's exactly who I think as a comp. And everybody was saying that in the stream last night, John. Everybody was saying that in the stream last night. Now he has Tyron Smith's ex-O-line coach as his coach. And that's the other thing I want to bring up. The people who were against taking an offensive tackle, the people that were so much for Simmons, their biggest argument was, we just brought in a great O-line coach. Mark Colombo, we could scheme, whatever it may be. He could make more out of this offensive line. First off, he had 3 All-Pro linemen on that line with the Cowboys before he got the job. And they were all first-round picks. But second off, my argument to that is, okay, and what do you think he's good? If he could turn, I don't know, the crap that we have now into a somewhat stable offensive line, what do you think he's going to do when he has actual talent, like Andrew Thomas? Okay? So, that's my argument to that. $5 donation from David DeLeon. How can Yannick be a Giant with what we have in Williams? What do we give up? I just don't see it. Please break it down. Okay, well, first off, you could always restructure contracts. You could extend Leonard Williams and make it so it's a less of a cap hit this year. You could sign Yannick to an extension and backload the contract to make it work within the cap. You could rescind the tag on Williams. You could include Williams in the trade. You could include another player. There's ways to work around it to make Yannick fit with the cap. The Giants would make it work. Thanks for love, man. I appreciate it. Let's see what we got here. We are building a line like that. Yeah, we're building a line like Dallas. And I knew we were going to. We brought in Jason Garrett, man. Jason Garrett's offense. You need an offensive line. We're running vertical passing routes. It takes time to develop. You need to be able to block to be able to do that. You need to be able to set up the run to be able to hit on deep passes. It only makes sense. Football 101, guys. Antoine with the $2 donation. He says, unfortunately, Thomas will have to wear flower. Oh, God. Oh, no. No. I tell you, I think I'm gonna buy an Andrew Thomas jersey. I got to. I love the Hogs. I think I'm gonna buy an Andrew Thomas jersey. Love the Hogs. Yeah, man. Hey, Chris, look on Twitter. I tagged you on an interesting story with Thomas and Judge. Please see this. All right, let me take a look. A source close to Andrew Thomas told me the Giants held a Zoom meeting with him 3 days before the draft, which finished up by head coach Joe Judge telling him he would call him on Thursday night to ask if he's ready to be a Giant. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. The Giants love this guy. The Giants knew they were taking Andrew Thomas the whole time. They knew they were taking Andrew Thomas the whole time, and they played the league like a fiddle. Love it. Love it. Football 101, you can't win if you can't stop. You're right, Charles. And you can't win if you can't block either. Like Dave Gettleman said, 1, you can't win with your starting quarterback in a sling. 2, you can't win without a running game. And you can't win when your quarterback's getting killed every time. Like one of my subscribers said last night, how can you expect to attack anybody if you can't even protect your own house? Got to protect your investments on the offense, and you also got to improve the defense. You need both, but we were in no place not to address that offensive line with a new offense, with a banged-up quarterback last year. We had an injured running back. We needed to improve the offensive line. It was the right pick. Gordon Gecko with the $2 donation. Thank you so much. He says, can you give the 2 most realistic Yannick trades? The 2 most realistic Yannick trades, let me think here. The 2 most realistic Yannick trades. I mean, I suppose the Giants are still in play. I've said all along, I think it's going to be more of a win-now team. We've heard the Colts are in play, and we've heard the Seahawks are in play. So, I would say one of those 2 teams for the second-round pick. Something like that. That's what I would say is the most realistic. In terms of the Giants, I think you'd have to give up 36, or at least a future second, which I don't want to do. So, we're not getting Yannick. At least if it involves draft picks this year, we're not getting Yannick. Weaver's another interesting guy. Weaver is a guy that fell down. That fell down. He was a early second round prospect, even late first round prospect a month or 2 ago. That's another guy we haven't talked about. He could be in play. Could be in play. Hey Chris, would you rather trade down from the 36 spot and get a few more picks, In your opinion, would you take the pick on Yetur, Epinesa, Delpit, or Winfield? Yeah, I've been asked that a lot. I would lean Winfield because I think he fits our defense the best. But I'd be happy with of those four. I think Matos and Winfield are the most realistic guys that'll be New York Giants today. Of those four. Chris, a lot of size came to New York last night. Congrats on Thomas. Hopefully Becton hits the high ceiling everyone has on him. Let me tell you something. I know you're a huge Jet fan. Thank you for popping in the stream. Jets made the right pick. Now, I don't know if Becton was the right player. You could have went with Wirfs. But I did a mock draft on the Jets. I don't follow the Jets that close. You guys, in the deepest wide receiver class, you guys have 2 picks, I think, are 45 and 65, something like that. You could conceivably get 2 really good wide receivers with those 2 picks. You needed... I'm going to give the Jets credit. I made a video when we played the Jets this year. The Giants couldn't make the same mistake you guys did with Sam Darnold in his second year. You guys made the mistake. You didn't address the offensive line last year in Darnold's second year, and he got killed for it. This year, the Jets did what they were supposed to do last year. You go out, you sign a center, and now you draft yourself a left tackle. You didn't go for the flashy pick. The Jets made sure they could protect Sam Darnold, and now they're going to get him a wide receiver in the second round and probably third round. Jets did a good job. Now, you could argue Wirfs or Becton, but they took the tackle. That was the right pick for the Jets. Argenis with the $5 donation. I'm loving this new coaching staff doing the Patriot way and giving the media a false rumor. They did a great job hiding everything. They did a great job hiding everything. Chris, what are your thoughts on Trayvon Diggs? We need a player. Didn't Diggs get drafted last night? I thought Diggs got drafted last night. Am I wrong on that? I got to look over the draft board. I thought maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. He's another guy that I've seen mocked to the Giants, but he's dropped in mocks as well. Oh no, he didn't. Okay, he didn't. Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought he did. He's solid, but I think we got bigger needs. Okay, he's still available. Okay, he's still available. Okay. How did you feel about the Raiders? I'm gonna be honest with you. I know you're a big Raiders fan, man. I love you, man. I got no hate for the Raiders. I hated your draft. But maybe they prove everybody wrong. I thought both picks were a reach. I didn't like your draft. Now he's a good wide receiver. Don't get me wrong. I had him third. You guys took him first. I thought you had 2 reaches there. I thought the Raiders could have had a much better draft than what they did. Let's see what we got here. I like Logan Wilson. I like Logan Wilson, especially if we get him in the third at 99. How does Mims compare to the other? Mims is my favorite wide receiver left. Mims is my favorite wide receiver left on the board. He's well-rounded, good route. He has all the tools you want. Mims is the best wide receiver on the board. Higgins might be the best wide receiver for our offense, though. That's what you got to ask yourself if you're going wide receiver at 36. But I do think Mims is the best wide receiver left. And I like Pittman a lot, too. I'd have Pittman. You're right. I'd have Pittman ahead of Higgins. But the Giants may view Higgins as a better fit for the offense. But I like Pittman a lot. I respect that entertainment because I wanted Lamb more, but I hope our draft gets better. I mean, yeah, who knows? You know, at the end of the day, if they work out to be good players, who knows, man? We don't know, but I would have been rooting for other players with both those picks if I was a Raider fan. Why do they need a receiver? I don't want a wide receiver at 36. I don't. I'm not going to cry if they do it. The reason why they need a wide receiver is because look at their depth chart. Right? This year they don't. But they're going to need one soon. I don't trust Golden Tate long term. I don't think he's going to be here much longer. Shepard is, like I said, one hit away from retiring. So they could use a tall threat on the outside. They don't have a tall wide receiver, but you could get that in the 5th. I don't want to take a wide receiver. I'm just going over all the prospects we could potentially take. Zion with the $5 donation, man. Thank you so much for love, man. He says he put his mask on and he was alone. He must have been too high because that was so funny. Thomas, true left tackle, and it's the safest pick. Need best available. Love it. In fairness to Gettleman, Zion, there was camera people there, right? I think they were filming him, so there must have been people there. Part of me thinks, though, when he did that, Part of me thinks that Gettleman did it to troll the media. Part of me thinks he did. He was like, I'm going to put this mask on as soon as they show me, so people are going to make fun of me. I think he loves it. He loves the hate he gets. Part of me thinks he did that intentionally. Just like with the binders. I really believe that. Do you think CeeDee Lamb will make a difference in a good or negative way? I think he's going to make it in a good way. CeeDee Lamb's really good. CeeDee Lamb's really good. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Jalen, that's probably the reason. But the first thought in my head was he might have been trolling. But I agree with you. And he's older. You got to remember that. He's older. He's not, older people are obviously much more at risk than, people in their 20s or 30s. You got to factor that in as well. And Zion Zena with the $2 donation, he says, big facts, and he removed the picture. Yeah. I was hoping when they showed him, they were going to show him with all these binders. I would have loved that. And Little Munchie, thank you so much for the $5 donation. He says, which do you think will be more competitive next season, the AFC North or the NFC South? Ooh. And Little Munchie, man, thank you for being a great subscriber of mine, by the way. And I know you're a Steeler fan. The AFC North or the NFC South, the AFC North is going to be competitive. The Browns are definitely improved. Love what they did. They really addressed the offensive line this offseason. I never sleep on the Steelers. You got Ben back. The AFC North is loaded. You got three at the top. And what was the other one? The NFC South, right? The NFC South's gonna be competitive too because the Bucs are gonna take a big step forward. I don't know about big because I still don't know how much I believe in Brady, but they're gonna be better. The Saints are still the Saints. The Panthers aren't good. You know what? No, I'll go AFC North. I think the AFC North's a better division. I don't like two of the teams in the South. I'll go the AFC North. AFC North's going to be more competitive. What's going on, Giants Alliance? Go over there and subscribe to him, by the way. I can't wait to have him on the channel, hopefully next week. Recap the draft. That's going to be an interesting discussion. I'm looking forward to it because I know he was a Simmons guy, but he was a fan that was kind of, I understand the tackle. So I'm looking forward to having a conversation with him, man. Thanks for popping in the stream, man. Let's see what we got here. How do you feel about Gross Matos, Hennessy, Gandy, Golden, and Muse, the next 4 picks? So you get an edge rusher, you get your center, you get your wide receiver, and a safety. If I knew you were getting those players, all aboard. Jump on it. But I don't know if you're going to get those players. But yeah, if they get those 4 players, that's solid. That's definitely solid. You would get your edge rusher, your wide receiver, your center, and your safety. Yeah, it's solid. Entertainer, do you know that you are live? You're live, man. Don't say anything. I didn't say anything racist, Jose Reyes. Do you think the Giants can go 4-2 in our division? Anything's possible. I think 3-3 is probably more achievable. I think 4-2 is the best case scenario. It's gonna be tough. It's a young team, man. The Eagles and Cowboys are much more experienced. 6:30 Waterfly. We're gonna be live 6:40. No, MVP. That was not a video. I was live. You talking about the one I deleted? I was live. I didn't know I was live, and I cursed during the video, but I deleted it. That must have felt good to troll Eagles fans for the Rieger pick like they did y'all last year. Yeah, I was happy, West Coast. I was happy that they. Oh, you're joking, yeah. Giants winning. I love the confidence, Peter. I do. I love the confidence. We got to get back to the ground and pound, man. What is your reaction with the Giants pick? Oh, I made a reaction video on it. I love it. Friggin' love it, man. It was a slam dunk pick, man. Slam dunk pick. I knew they had to go tackle. Had to. I don't care if people think it was a little bit of a reach. You're really going to cry that we should have taken the tackle at 6 instead of 4? At the end of the day, it was the biggest need. We needed a tackle. We got the tackle. We move on. Love the pick. Jawad, I always want hugs, Jawad. Always want the hugs. Do you think people think our defense will be worse than it really is? You know what? It's hard to say. I do think we're going to be better coached. I'll say that. And I do think that Graham and and Judge's philosophy is going to put these people in a better situation to succeed. We still don't have the talent. We still need one, if not two, more big-time playmakers on this defense, specifically an edge rusher. But I do think the defense could be improved for the coaching change alone. Not to mention Bradbury at this point in his career is better than Janoris Jenkins. I think you have a better locker room culture. Martinez, I think, is a little bit underrated. I think people hated on him a little too much. I still don't love the signing, but I think he's a solid linebacker and is an improvement over Ogletree. I do think with the coaching, we could be better. It's still not a good defense, but we could be better. Best player in our defense? Right now, that's tough to say. I mean, could be a lot of guys. It could be like 4 or 5 different guys. That's tough to say. I mean, right now, I'd probably lean Bradbury. I guess, Bradbury. But, I mean, it could be Peppers. It could be Lawrence. It could be Leonard Williams. It could be a lot of guys. It's tough to say. DeAndre Baker will develop. I agree. I think both of them will develop. Do you think they could trade back? Yes, I think we could. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to be able to, but I think we could. Could be Tomlinson. Yeah. What are you excited for? Seeing how the new coaches pan out, or the new players? Scott, great question. I think that, to me, the most interesting storyline for me to cover for the New York Giants this year is the coaching staff. It's the new coaching staff and seeing, everything that they bring to the table and everything else. I'm really excited for that. I really am. I think that's the most interesting storyline, even more so than the players. Joe Judge and then Jason Garrett, how everything works out. I love the new coaching staff, and I'm very excited to see that aspect of it. I think that's the most, and obviously Daniel Jones year two. But I think that's the most intriguing storyline going into the season. New Joe Judge interview. If there's a Joe Judge interview, I will make of it, not today because I got the draft, but I'll make a video on that and I'm breaking that down probably tomorrow or the day after. Status on Golden and Clowney. I don't think we're getting either one. Neither one's going to be a New York Giant. Can you get a little flex, MH? No. Who had the worst round one? Raiders, in my opinion. I didn't like what the Raiders did. They had 12 and 19. I didn't like the players they came up with. I'm with you, John. Love the pick, man. Absolutely love the pick. The Bulls. John with a $2 donation. Colin Johnson in the 5th round, 6'6" target for DJ. Yeah, I talked about. I had him in one of my mocks. I think in the 6th. If you get him in the 6th, I'm completely for it. Tall wide receiver, red zone target, much like Plaxico Burress was, makes a lot of sense. I do like him. Blue Jacket says, which lineman of the top 4 do you think will have the best rookie season? You know what? I'm going to go Andrew Thomas. I think Andrew Thomas is the most pro-ready. And it came out after the fact that most teams had him ranked number 1 on their board, at least according to Jay Glazer. Andrew Thomas. I'm going to go Andrew Thomas. I like Jedrick Wills. I know you guys got Jedrick Wills, and I like him. Jedrick Wills is also playing the left tackle, which I think he's going to do well, but he's never played it before. I am going to go Andrew Thomas. I think Andrew Thomas is going to have the best rookie year. Who is your choice at 36? Like I said, I think it's between Winfield. I think it's between Hennessy. And I think it's between Matos. I think it's going to be one of those 3. That's my guess. Judge finally said Daniel Jones' name last night. Well, he had to. He didn't draft the quarterback. What do you think about Brian Edwards? He's all right. He's probably in the 5th round discussion. Status on Bobby Woodard. He's still alive. He was here. I don't know if he's still here, but he was here. Why does it matter to me if I curse? I guess it doesn't. I just try not to curse on my channel. I know kids watch. I don't want to influence kids to curse. That's the reason. Adam Hodge brought the hogs. Chris, I sent you a video on Instagram of Andrew Thomas panicking Chase Young 1v1 absolutely handled him. I will check it out when I can. I don't go on Instagram a lot, but I will check it out when I can. How do you feel about CeeDee Lamb going to the Cowboys? I don't like it. You know, like I said earlier, I don't think it was their biggest need, but I don't like it. Morty with a $2 donation. He says, did you see Stephen A. blast the Giants draft as the worst? Yeah, he doesn't know what he's talking about. I love Stephen A. Smith. He's entertaining. Doesn't know what he's talking about. He sounds like a fool. He literally sounds like a fool when he says that. And I would tell you. Last year I was not happy when we took Daniel Jones. I would tell you my honest opinion. He's a fool. He sounds like a fool. Let's see what we got here. He said Wills is more widely regarded and even said that Becton is better because referencing to the combine and highlights. Even if, and maybe they will be better, you can't hate this pick. He's the safest tackle prospect. You could like other guys, but you can't say the Giants had the worst draft. Doesn't make sense. Denzel Mims, AJ Marshall. I'll go with Denzel Mims. What's your take on Chicago's picks in round 2? Chicago, from what I read, I think you guys need an interior offensive lineman. I don't know if it's a center or a guard. I don't know your team well enough, but I think you'll take an offensive lineman. I'm trying to think of the other needs on your team. Maybe a wide receiver. I think maybe you guys could use a wide receiver. That might be where there's a lot of good wide receivers. I could see the Bears doing that. I could see them doing that. Something like that. Jalen, Nicholas, I don't know why you keep writing that. Jalen, the wide receiver the Eagles took. 21 overall. Who's a wide receiver you wouldn't be mad at if we did draft one in the second? Denzel Mims. Interesting. What's going on, Blue Panda? Look at the tape. Becton stops playing as soon as his first assignment is done. He will literally never run. Okay, it's back. Okay. You excited? I'm big Blue, man. I'm really excited for tonight, man. I can't wait, man. You know, I'm gonna do this for about another 40 minutes. Take a break. Be back by 6:30. I cannot wait for tonight. I cannot wait to see who we end up with, man. And BK Swiss, man, thank you for the love, man. I really appreciate that. $2 donation, man. I really appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Who do you think the Giants end up taking, Jack says? Yeah, I've been getting it. We'll talk about that tonight. I've been getting asked that a lot. Tune into the stream. Bad Dog Me will give our opinion on who they're going to take. But watch my video, and, you know, I go over it, you know. But I think I'll give you the positions. Free safety, center, edge rusher. One of those three positions, for sure. I'm leaning Winfield if it's a safety. That Winfield or a center is probably what I think they're going to do. But Matos is very much in play. I think if Troy Dye is still on the board at 99, I'd be very happy with him at 99. Very happy with him at 99 if we could get him. Your thoughts on the Bengals next pick? Bengals to me, 1 or 2. If I'm the Bengals, to me, I rush up to the stage. Easy pick for me. I'm taking Josh Jones. I got my quarterback. I got to protect him. I'm getting the tackle. Easy pick for me. They could go wide receiver, though. To me, the pick for the Bengals should either be Josh Jones or Denzel Mims. I would take the tackle. I'm running up to the stage. I'm taking Josh Jones. That's my prediction. Stand up, Moose. Thank you for popping in the stream. Are you a boss hog? I love the hogs. You know that, man. How do you feel about our wide receiver this year? Should we go? I think it's too early to take a wide receiver. Like I said, I think we're gonna take one, but not this early. I'm sorry, not live chat. Click on the little sign, the $sign at the bottom right, where it says send a message, and then you'll have the. Oh, you're talking to somebody else, Gary. Yeah, I'm not trying to ignore anybody, by the way. I appreciate everybody for being here. I guess people dipped because it lagged or whatever, but I appreciate everybody for being here. We could go edge or center. Edge, center, or safety. I think that's what you're looking at. Could Thomas start left or move to the right? I think he's going to start left. He's played both, though. So, we'll see what the Giants elect to do. Nate Solder's played left his entire career. So we'll see what they elect to do. They might elect, if Solder's still on the roster, they might elect to start him on the right and move him to the left the following year. Remains to be seen. I'm curious to get quotes from Judge, and that'll be an interesting storyline to see what they elect to do. I prefer him on the left, but we'll see. He could go either way. He's definitely going to be on the left soon. How confident are you in the Giants this season? I am very confident in the future of this team. I'm very confident in the future of this team. When you ask how confident I am in this season, are you asking playoffs? I'm not confident in that because this team's not supposed to make the playoffs yet. They're young. They have a brand new coaching staff. I'm confident that we're headed in the right direction, and I'm confident if they stay the course, which I think they're going to, the Giants are going to be very good for a very long time. I'm confident in that. Just got to keep building. You got to keep building, but they got to get an edge. They got to keep improving that offensive line, but I'm confident the Giants are headed in the right direction. What's going on, MYG31? Yeah, I know it was on the CBS Sports Instagram page. Favorite late receivers? I mean, Hodgins. Hodgins is my favorite in the fifth. Hodgins. Gandy Golden in the fourth or the fifth, but I'm going to go Hodgins. Hodgins has been my guy for a very long time, and I like Peoples-Jones out of Michigan. I don't think you'd get him in the fifth, though. I think you'd have to take him in the fourth. Those are my two favorite in the 4 to 5 round area. Who had the best? Who had the Raiders had the worst draft? Raiders had the worst draft. Dylan, man, thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate that $5 donation. He says, do you think that we should trade up into the middle of the third or even back into the second to get some? But yeah, Dylan, no brainer, man. That's what, if they could do it. Much like the first round, but if they could do it, yeah. You get that Leonard Williams pick back. It's so valuable. That's why I hated the trade. There's so much deep talent in this draft. I would love to trade back. Oh, Zion, man, thanks so much for the love, man. He says, would you trade the second and the fifth and Sterling for Yannick? No. I don't think we need to give that up. I think the Jaguars are desperate. I don't think we'd have to give that up. I think all those rumors that came out that the Raiders were offering 19, that was nonsense. That was a ploy by the Jaguars to try to drive up the market on Yannick. Everybody knows Yannick wants out. Everybody knows the Jaguars need to move him. I'm not giving him that. I'm not. I'm playing hardball. Should the Giants draft defense in the second and third rounds? They could. To me, I've said it all along. Center in the second or the third. I want a center. But they could go defense in both. Who's going to be the leader on the defense? Right now, Bradbury. Bradbury's an experienced veteran. He's a very accomplished pro. Martinez and Bradbury are the leaders of this defense. They're the veterans. They're the guys you brought in for the leadership role. Those are the leaders on this defense right now. Looks like we traded safety Michael Thomas to the... Was it a trade, Anthony? Because people were saying he signed there. He wasn't on our payroll. We didn't bring him back, I don't think. I think he signed there. Yeah, the Yannick price drop, man. Any good late round tight? This is a very thin tight end class. One guy that I had mocked to it. There's a bunch. I mean, there's just one guy I liked was Parkinson out of Stanford. He's a seventh round guy. 6'7", good receiver. So that's one guy that I liked, and the Giants seem to have a fascination with prospects out of Stanford. 3 of their free agents were from there. They like guys who are smart, so just a thought I had when I saw it, but I was interested by him. Saheed with the $2 donation. A fifth for Yannick, just like Calais Campbell. A fifth I'm doing? Yeah, I'll do a fifth. Absolutely. I'm not giving a second and a fourth. And a player, no way. You're desperate. I'm not giving you that. Where do you think Rosen will play? Rosen, one team that I've had in the back of my head for a long time, guys, and I think Miami should trade him, even if they get a third or fourth for him. The New England Patriots. The New England Patriots to me. If Josh Rosen ended up there, I think they could save his career. I think that's a very interesting fit. And it would be such a Patriot thing to do. I wouldn't rule it out. I wouldn't rule it out. Giants need more linebackers. They definitely need more linebackers. What's going on, Sean Grimes? One of my best, man. I'll trade Leonard Williams straight up for Young. I would do that. You're swapping franchise tag player. Absolutely, I would do that. I would definitely do that. Jags have to take Solder or Williams in return to make the salaries work without restructuring contracts. They would have to, yes. What do you think about Andrew Thomas? I love Andrew Thomas. Love him. Love him. Safest tackle in the draft. He's played left tackle. He's been very productive at Georgia. Love the pick. No reason not to, if you're being fair. Let's take Josh Jones, cut Solder before the deadline, and then sign Yannick. Let's rock and roll. I wouldn't be opposed to that. The only thing I say about that, though, as much as I would love to get 2 young tackles, I think you need some experience on this offensive line. As bad as Solder was last year, I do think Solder could rebound a little bit and play better. With the new offense and the second-year quarterback, I don't want to start 2 rookie tackles. I think you need a little experience. Now, I guess you could start Cam Fleming. You could do that. You could start Cam Fleming on the right side. You start Thomas on the left. And then move Jones in there at some point in the year or the second year. You could do that. I wouldn't want to start 2 rookies at right and left tackle. I wouldn't want to do that. Or Gates, yeah. Chris, thoughts on Yeturgos Matos, please. Thoughts on Yeturgos Matos, please. I like him. He's one of my favorite edge rusher prospects in this draft. I had him third. I had him third as an edge rusher prospect. I like him. I talked to OGR a lot. He's a huge Penn State fan. I've had him on the channel before, and go check him out if you haven't. OGR Sports. He doesn't think he fits the Giants' defensive philosophy. He's more of a traditional 4-3 defensive end. But we obviously have ties with him. Our defensive line coached him at Penn State, so I like him. I do like him. And thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate that, man. Vauxhall to the Bay says, just because I love the channel. Salute, man. I love all you guys. You know, I say all the time, I try to tell you guys how much I know I do, but I want to tell you, I literally want to tell you every 10 minutes if I could, how much I appreciate all the love you guys show me on my channel. You know, I never in a million years would have ever thought I would have as many subscribers as I have, and as many people that tune in my live stream, as many people that watch my videos when I first started, just talking about a team I like, I love. And yeah, man, it means the world, man. It means that all the support you guys always show me means the world. So thank you. Thoughts on Cushenberry? I like Cushenberry. I don't know if the Giants view him as the best center available though. They've been tied to Hennessy for a while. Frank Corona with the $5 donation. I appreciate that. I personally don't want to reach for a center at 36. I'd rather go BPA. Giants will need a lot of talent. Maybe we get lucky with the center falling. I'm not against that theory. I'm kind of leaning that way myself, unless we could trade down. I would prefer to go defense here. I would. I think I would, but I'm not going to be upset if they go center. I realize it's a huge need, but I do think the center is a little bit of a reach here. I think the defensive players in this spot, and you know I'm an offensive line guy. I preach it. I think the defensive players in this spot are too much better than a guy like Hennessy to pass up. Unless we trade down. I'm with you, actually, with that. Even though I would love to take the center. Do you think Thomas's upside is as high or higher than the other offensive tackles? Yes, I do. Here's what I'll say. The worry with Wirfs, and I think Wirfs has a great upside, but the worry with Wirfs was everybody always thought he was better suited as a guard. So his upside right out of the gate, if they feel he's going to be a guard, is limited. Even though he's a tremendous athlete. Becton has a huge upside, but his floor is just way too low rather. But he's got a huge upside. But to me, Andrew Thomas's ceiling is definitely a bit high enough to warrant that 4th pick, and he's very safe. I like the pick. It was the right pick. It was the smart pick. Chris, who's blocking for Saquon if he runs to the right a lot? I agree with you, Zav. We gotta fix both sides of the line, man. We gotta fix both sides of the line. If we don't take the tackle in this draft, if we don't take Jones here or Pert, guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. Next year, depending on what happens in free agency, we'll see what happens. I'm gonna be open to taking a tackle in the first round. It's a very strong tackle class. Okay? Depends on what we do. It depends on what edge rushers are going to be there. I have to map it out. I have to see where we're picking. But there's a lot of great tackles in next year's class, too. I wouldn't be opposed to doing it 2 years in a row and just shoring up the offensive line. I wouldn't be opposed to it. Depends on who's there, though. Depends on where we're picking. But I don't know if they're going to double up on the tackle here. Day 2 edge, Matos or Bourne. Matos or Bourne. There you go. Laramie Tunsil's a free agent. He's a free agent next year. What is going on, Rudy T? Yo, Tana, what's good, brother? Looking forward to another great, and you and me both, man. I can't wait to see how it all plays out. We're going to end this in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and then I'll be back live at 6:30 with Bad Dog, and we're going to get ready to rock and roll, and we're going to get the guys we want, Rudy. We're going to be happy today. We're going to be happy today. But thanks for popping in, Rudy, man. Hope all is well. Hope everybody's staying safe out there, man. I appreciate it. Do you think we will draft McKinney? No, I don't. I really don't. But we could, But like I've said, I don't know how well he fits our defense. I'm leaning no. Pittman or T. Higgins? I think Pittman's the better prospect. I think T. Higgins fits the offense better. That's what it comes down to. But I don't think we're taking a wide receiver. I really don't. Tana, you're an absolute legend, my man. Can't wait. Joda, man. Thanks for Joda, man. I appreciate all the support you always show me on my channel, man. Now, how am I supposed to pass that? I got to get a little bit of a break. I got to eat. I got to get ready for the draft. But I'll be back soon, man. I'll be back soon. Out G fam, you'll later. Be safe, peeps. You too, DG, man. Hennessy or Cushenberry? I think the Giants are leaning Hennessy if they're going center. That's what I honestly think. Will Hernandez projection in year 3? I'll tell you what, man. That left side, because Andrew Thomas to me is going to be a huge upgrade over Nate Solder, and that in turn should make Hernandez play better. We got a bright left side there, don't we? You move Thomas over there. Hernandez, I think he's still a very talented guard. Thomas has improved. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm just trying to charge my phone. Here's what I'm going to say. If you get a productive center in this draft, if you get whoever, and they're a huge upgrade over Jalapeno, and then Andrew Thomas over Nate Solder, Hernandez is going to look a lot better on that left side. And all of a sudden, you got yourself a strong left side of that line. Saquon's running for days. For days. BK Swiss, thank you so much for the $2 donation. I appreciate it. He says, thoughts on AJ Epinesa? I like AJ Epinesa. I like him a lot. I just don't. I don't think he fits our scheme. But I like him. He is definitely a 4-3 defensive end. He's not playing the outside linebacker, but he's a really good player. I just don't. I don't think the Giants are going to pick him. Yeah, Stephen A. Smith doesn't know what he's talking about, Taco. I'm being honest with you. I know you wanted the linebacker. Stephen A. Smith don't know what he's talking about. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's see. Oh, Zion, man, thank you so much for the love, man. I really appreciate it. You yourself, not be smart, do your research. Entertaining always comes with that fire. You deserve every single sub. You work hard at the grind. I appreciate that, Zion, man. And I appreciate all the love you always show my channel. And once the draft is over, and then I could recap it and I have time to think about things, I'm definitely going to go over those sponsors you showed me on Twitter and try to start a podcast. That's something I've been thinking about doing for a while. And that's something I'm definitely going to do. I appreciate the love, man. Drop a like, people. We got 300 likes. Spike that like, guys. And if you haven't done so, subscribe, ring the bell. Tina, what do you think about I like Jeremy Chin, too. That's a name I haven't talked about a lot. I like Jeremy. I know Bad Dog loves Jeremy Chin. He's versatile, too. Possible. I don't think they'll take him at 36, though. Tunsil extended now. Highest pick. Wow. They extended Tunsil 3 years, $66 million. Oh, my God. Hey, man, tackles are important. Scotty H says, I hope we trade. I think we all hope we trade down. You know, for the right deal. How do you think Judge will use Jones's leg? Design sneak, lots of rollouts, etc. I think you'll see rollouts. Here's what I'll say about that. And I know people love to see the versatility to a quarterback, the athletic, and it's fun. I don't want my quarterback running. I want him to be able to extend plays with the legs, scramble when necessary. I don't like a lot of design runs because you know what happens when you have design runs? Your quarterback gets hurt. I don't like that. You know, I like for my quarterback to have the ability to do play action rollouts, use his leg to extend plays, but I don't want him getting hit. I really don't. Long-term success, I'd much rather have that pocket quarterback, who has the ability to extend plays. I love having the top 5 picks, more flexibility to do whatever we want. Yeah, I mean, I don't love having top 5 picks because that means we did really bad the year before. But during the draft, it's fun. Is Bosa a free agent next year? Yes. That's if he's not franchise tag, but yes, he is a free agent. What if we trade Engram to the Pats for a 2020 second round pick and a 2020? Not happening. I don't think. I mean, if we do that, I'm jumping for joy. Not happening. Yeah, I know. I heard about Dak's brother yesterday. Jones year 2 projection. I will say 4,100 yards, 30 touchdowns, 13 picks. I think he's going to have a good year, especially now that he's got protection. I like Jones year 2. How about them Chargers? Chris Sonor's pumped up, man. Catch you later. Stay lit, chat. You have a great one, man. Chris Sonor's pumped up about the Chargers. I agree, Chris. Ravens fans will know soon enough when Lamar. That's not the type of quarterback you want. He's fun. He's great. He ain't going to be a quarterback for 15, 20 years that remains unscathed. And the other thing I'll say about Lamar Jackson, and I'm not knocking the guy. The guy's great. How's he going to be when he's 30? Even if he stays healthy, when he doesn't have that same speed. To me, I would never want a quarterback that needs to run to be successful. That's just not me. Players you think will fall. I mean, players I hope fall to the 3rd round, where we're picking our Hennessy, Tyler Biadasz centers. That's what I hope. I could see Bourne falling further than people thought. I could see Delpit falling further than people thought. Yeah, I could see those guys. Would you say Thomas is as pro-ready as Nelson was? Yes, I would say yes, but also, what I'll also say to that is, I think it's harder for a tackle to trade. I think it's much easier for a guard to make an immediate impact than a tackle. So, yes, but I don't think he'll have that same impact. But long term, I think he's going to be great. Kristoff, 6:30, because that's when Bad Dog could go live. What's going on, Wild Bat? Stand up, Jackie Chan. Thoughts on Okwara? High upside. Big fan of Okwara. But not at 36. We're not going to take him. Chris, what do you think next season record could be? I think 6-10, 7-9. Yeah, 6-10, 7-9. I think he could. Eric, let's talk about him. We haven't talked about him a lot in this stream. Donovan Peoples-Jones. If you guys haven't checked him out, go do it. His stats are not that impressive. I'm a big fan of Donovan Peoples-Jones for the New York Giants. If he's there at 110. Huge upside. And Joe Judge has talked about guys that he wants that have a lot of potential. If he's there at 110, that's a wide receiver I'm interested in taking. And I think he could be. I think he definitely could be there at 110. That's the area where I would take him. I'm a big fan of Donovan Peoples-Jones. I like him a lot. I like him a lot. Yeah, fast, tall, underrated. Let's see what we got here. Hey, Chris, you love the Joe Judge interview in that video. I think round 2 will go defense, Chris. Judge said loads of guys fell he didn't expect. Yeah, I didn't get to watch the interview. I'll definitely watch it after the live stream. You could argue defense. Maybe he's talking about Josh Jones. I'm just saying. But maybe it will be defense. I didn't get to watch the interview yet. Peter with the $5 donation. Kuiper just talked about Gandy Golden as a sleeper. Won't make it out of the third now. Trade 36 is my best move. I'm completely with you on that. Trade down is the best move, but like last night, you can't force a trade. I don't think there was a trade there last night. If there's a trade today, I think the Giants do look to trade, but there's got to be a trade. You can't take Gandy Golden at 36. Can't do it. Can't do it. I know people want the wide receiver. You can't take Gandy Golden at 36. You can't. I don't want to take a wide receiver at 36, but if you do, Denzel Mims is there. You can't take Gandy Golden at 36. Chris, you know I love me some T. I like T. Higgins too, Nikki. Jags had a great draft. Should have traded Yannick, though. Jags did have a good draft. I agree with that. But they should have traded Yannick. What's going on, Ryu? Give me Grant Delpit and a center in the second. Oh, so you want to trade down and get 2 second-round picks? It's going to be hard to get 2 second-round picks. Let's see what we got here. Tyler Johnson's another guy. I almost mocked Tyler Johnson instead of Donovan Peoples-Jones. They're kind of the opposites. Tyler Johnson is a guy, I think, with not as high of a ceiling, but he was super productive at Minnesota. Peoples-Jones is a guy that if they draft him, they feel he has untapped potential that was not productive. So, kind of the opposite. Peoples-Jones a little taller. I think he's got an inch on him. He's faster. I think Johnson ran in the 4.6s, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe the high 4.5s. And Peoples-Jones ran like 4.46 or 4.48. And he had a 44.5 on the vertical. So, higher potential, I think you're looking at there. Nick DeWick, thank you so much for the $2 donation. They just extended Laramie. Yeah, I heard. They just extended Laramie Tunsil to a record contract. $66 million over 3 years. Crazy, man. Left tackle, but they're important. What's going on, Gary? Is Ngakoue getting traded anytime soon? If I'm a Jags fan, I would hope so. Because the longer they wait, the less they're going to get. I would hope so. They can't keep him on that team. Let's see what we got here. Do you think our run-stopping defense is one of the best? I think it should be. With what we invested there, I think Dexter Lawrence should only get better this year. Second year of Leonard Williams having experience playing with them should only get better. Dalvin Tomlinson to me is a very good nose tackle. Yeah. Nick Martinez is good against the run. Yeah. I think we should have a very good run defense. There's no excuses not to. Let's see what we got here. Can't wait. The Patriots go 11-5 or 10-6. So the Patriots could easily still win 10 games. Bill Belichick's the coach. They could win 10 games. My name is Oh, my bad. Garv. Sorry, Garv. Should we take a pick to trade to the Jags? If we could trade down, we should. Moose, I'm ending this in about 10 minutes. And then I'm taking a break. Chris, I'm seeing Hennessy drafted in the second round. Do we pull the trigger? He won't. Greg, I've said this now for about a week. Maybe like 5-6 days leading up to the draft. That's an extreme possibility that they take Hennessy at 36. If they can't trade down. I could see it. They like him. And it's not just the Giants. From what I've read, like you just said, Hennessy has moved up the charts for a lot of people. Don't be surprised if we take Hennessy at 36. David, thank you so much for the $5 donation. Troy Dye would definitely fit our scheme. Love this kid. Same frame as Simmons. Yeah, a little bit lighter. He's 225. He's a converted safety. But very similar in the ways you could use him. I like Troy Dye. I like him a lot. If he's there at 99, I like him a lot. Depending on what we did at 36. But I like Troy Dye. I don't know if he's going to get there, but I like him. Don't like Matos or Epinesa, so I'm looking safety. Definitely could go safety as well. I think 36 is too early for Troy Dye. Too early. Delpit versus McKinney. I would take McKinney over Delpit. I don't think we're getting Delpit. Q-Dog! What's going on, my man? Q-Dog had the best super chat of the night last night. And Bad Dog, he had a few too many, I guess. And he said he was Barney from the The Simpsons, because Barney's always drunk, the bartender. He says, "What's up, Dana? How's Barney feeling?" Well, you're gonna find out at 6:30. But Bad Dog was in the stream earlier. I think he's all right. Joe Hoffman with the $5 donation. He says, "What would be our best options to trade down in the second? Any specific teams or scenarios in mind for a trade like that?" Joe, I've been asked that a couple of times. I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I said the Bears in my other when I made a video on that, but they don't have any picks until the 5th round. They have 2 seconds. I will do my research, and I will look into the 3 or 4 best teams I could see the Giants making a move with before we go live for the second round. But what I'll say is this. The teams that I think that would be willing to move up to 36 are teams that need a wide receiver, because Denzel Mims to me shouldn't be there. Teams that might need a edge rusher, somebody that feels Matos really fits their defense. That's those teams. Teams in need of that are teams I could see moving up to 36. But I will look into it. I will look into it and come up with a couple teams that I think make the most sense. Pats, Broncos, Bears. There you go. There's a couple. Doc Steele just said them. Yo, peeps, round 2. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go. Do you still believe in Jimenez? Yes. I think Jimenez is going to have a really good year this year. Who do you want most in the second round? I'm leaning Winfield as much as I want the center. But I want the center of Winfield. But I kind of fell in love with Winfield. And I think you could still get a decent center in the 3rd. But I'd be completely happy with the center. And I'd be completely happy with a lot of the guys we've said. Joe Hoffman, thank you so much for the $2 donation. He says, "You treat me too well, Dana." No, you treat me too well. Thank you for being a great supporter of the channel. Don't know why everyone is all in on Julian Love starting at safety. We need to safety to pair Jabril. You taking McKinney? I would take Winfield, Zach. Yeah, I like Winfield, and I'm with you. As much as I like Julian Love, as much as I think he could be a vital piece to the future of this team, I don't know yet. And the more I could do in that secondary, the better. If I bring in a free safety, it gives me the ability to move Love around, to move Peppers around, and do the things that Joe Judge and Patrick Graham want to do. So, I like Winfield. I do like Winfield. I could see Logan Wilson too. I should have mentioned him. I mentioned him on Twitter yesterday. That's another guy. Don't be shocked if the Giants take him at 36. They've been linked to him. He's moving up draft charts. Logan Wilson is an option as well. Yeah, Mr. Handglider, you're absolutely right. Let's see what we got here. I'm not telling you my last name. Move up to the slot corner. Reach at 36, Logan Wilson. Yeah, I think he's a reach. I think he's a little bit of a reach. But I like him. But I think you get him later. I don't think he's getting a 99, though. So if the Giants really like him, they might take him. Oh, did I say Logan Ryan? I meant Logan Wilson. Yeah, I'm not saying that's what I would do, guys. I'm not saying that's what I would do. But I'm saying I wouldn't be shocked if it happens. Congrats on 6 million viewers, Alex says. I didn't have 6 million viewers. Do we sign Logan Ryan? A lot of people have been asking about that. Slot corner, rather. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think so at this point. I think the team is pretty set. I don't think they're bringing in any more big names. Johnny says, Tana, just getting to check in, so apologies if you've discussed already. What's your big board top 10 looking like into tonight? I have not been asked that. That's a tough one to ask. Top 10, not just talking about the Giants specifically, but the top 10 players, McKinney, Mims, and no specific order. McKinney, Mims, Gross Matos, Winfield, Delpit, I'm trying to think who else. Epinesa, yeah, Epinesa would be on there. Who's the wide receivers I'm forgetting here? T. Higgins probably on there, but also Bowen's probably on there. DeAndre Swift, yeah, running back DeAndre Swift. And Pittman. I'd have Pittman on there. I think that's my big board top 10. Right around there. You know, it's tough when I'm not looking at a list, but right around there. There you go. Now, there's a couple of Pittmans. Yeah, Pittman. Jonathan Taylor's up there as well. Chris Leon, what's going on, my man? I don't think I'm drinking tonight. I think I'm maybe I'll buy a 6-pack, but if I do have a beer, it'll be a couple. I'm not gonna go crazy. Why did AJ Epinesa fall to the second? I think because he's system dependent and because of his 40 time at the combine. I'll probably buy a 6-pack. I'll have a couple of Guinnesses. Recon says, do you think Tyler Biadasz will be there at 99? 50-50. I think it's 50-50. But I wouldn't bank on it. But I think there's a legitimate chance he could be. I'd say 50-50. Yeah, Bad Dog was definitely tipsy last night. What do you think of the coaching staff long term? I love it. I'm a big fan. I'm a huge fan of the coaching staff long term. Love the coaching staff. My favorite part of the offseason was the coaching staff. Oh, 6 million total views. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't even look at that. I appreciate that. Moose, I'll see you soon. Yeah, we're ending this in 5 minutes anyway. But Moose, man, have a great one, man. Would you put Peppers at the money backer? Well, I think they're gonna move Peppers around. Yeah, I think they're gonna move Peppers around. I don't think, like Joe Judge has said, he's one of those players that can play all over the field. He's gonna play all over the field. He's gonna play safety. They're gonna move him up. They'll move him around. I want Gross Matos available, and I like the DB coach Henderson. DB coach Henderson has he coached Revis early on. He's had success. I like Henderson as well. I'm drinking Hennessy tonight. Feel me. I'm with you, Doc Steele. I'm looking forward to hanging out with all you guys tonight. I really am. I had so much fun yesterday, and we're going to be back on in a little over 3 hours. So I'll have my beer ready. I'll have a full stomach. And we're going to have fun tonight, man. We're definitely going to enjoy it. I'm going to get to talk to you guys. We're gonna be happy about these picks. I got a good feeling going into tonight. I love the start the New York Giants are off to. We addressed the tackle that we desperately needed to. Jesse Green, man, thank you so much for the dollar donation. I really appreciate that, man. I'll definitely get some beers. I'm gonna get a Guinness. I'll get some Guinness. I'm gonna get some Guinness. But I'm really looking forward to tonight, man, and it's gonna be a good night, man. We're gonna get some good players tonight. We got off to a really good start. We got the left tackle we so desperately needed. And now we got to go out and get that. We got to get that center. We got to get that edge. We got to get that coverage linebacker, the free safety. We got to fill more needs tonight. We're gonna do it. I like where we're going right now. Chris, the Broncos are interested in trading up for our pick. Thoughts? I would love that. We have 2 picks tonight, sports. We're picking at 36 and 99. Drink one for me. I'm sober. You got it, man. You got it. Very excited about tonight. Alex, you and me both, man. Thanks for these videos of getting us through the court. You got it, Gary. I'm going to continue. Garv, I'm sorry. I'm going to continue to do these, even after the draft. You know, I'm not going to go live every night, but I'll go live at least 2 or 3 times a week, along with the Giants show. So I'll continue to do the live streams, talk Giants, talk about whatever you want to talk about, sports in general. So it's a lot of fun for me, too. I love doing this. I love talking to you guys. So I appreciate all you guys, man. And I'll keep putting up those videos. I'll talk about the draft class as a whole, how I think they're going to fit the defense, talk about next year's free agency class, how they could structure the. I got video ideas. I'm going to break down each player. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. JJ Trill with the $2 donation. He says, we will draft the guy the Eagles need again today. I tell you what, that was hysterical. That was hysterical. As much as I hated that you guys got CeeDee Lamb, I was happy he didn't end up an Eagle, and you guys blocked him. So I was happy in that aspect. I don't like that you got him, but I was happy that he didn't go to the Eagles. Joda, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it, man. I'll see you guys tonight, though. And Do you think the Browns taking Jedrick Wills is a smart move? Yes, they needed a tackle. They needed a tackle. I think it was the right move. But guys, I'm going to see you guys in a little over 3 hours. 6:30 is going to be the stream time. I got to get something to eat. I got to fill up my stomach. I got to get some beer. I don't have any beer in my fridge. Got to save my voice a little bit. Thank you. Oh, Hot Nickels, man. Thank you so much, man, for the love, man. I really appreciate it. $5 donation. Who do I want? Tune in tonight to find out. No, but Antoine Winfield, there's a lot of guys I want. Gross Matos, Winfield, center. I want a lot, but we'll see who we end up with. But there's like 7, 8 guys I'd be happy with. Hot Nickels with the $5 donation. He says, had pulled pork last night, felt it was appropriate. Nothing could have been more appropriate. Tonight, barbecue chicken. What's it going to be? Take to get Hennessy without going too early. Bangarang, New York Giants. Trade down, like somebody said with the Broncos, a team like that. Get a mid-second, early third. You take Hennessy there. Let's rock and roll. We got the Hogs going forward. Then you get to eat some bacon tomorrow morning, my man. And Reggie Jones with the $5 donation. I appreciate it. What time is the draft? We are going to be live at 6:30. The draft starts at 7. So probably won't start till like 7:10. That's usually how it works. But it's supposed to start at 7. We're going to be here all night. It's going to be like 7 to midnight again. So looking forward to it. Can't wait to see how tonight turns out. Then we're going to be live again at noon. The draft starts at noon, day 3. So got to get some sleep after tonight. I'll definitely have a video recapping the picks. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. I'll see you guys soon. Let's enjoy the draft tonight, guys. Have a good night, guys. Good night. It's friggin' 3:12. I just said have a good night. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you tonight. All right, guys. Talk to you soon.